Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 143 of the Terminus podcast. I am your dispatcher, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. With me I have my engineers, Brett Wiebold and Jacob Durbin, our fireman, TJ Sicosio, and our brakeman, Tyler. Welcome to the podcast, Tyler. He's alive, I assure you. He's the 2-foot guy. We know him. Everybody knows him. Watch the local royales, you know. He's that guy. This is his break. This is his state-mandated break from making 2-foot.
I guess.
I mean, I would say continue working on it, but don't. It's podcast time. Anyway, before I get out the 2-foot club, the train will terminate at this station.
Okay, this week we're in Barstow. I think Barstow's in California?
Yeah, Barstow's in California.
Barstow in California. Welcome.
We're looking at a long, long line of orange engines sitting there. It's like a BNSF, maybe not a deadline, but a storage track or something. You can see Virtual Railfan's logo down in the corner. Unfortunately, Steam Broadcasting just wasn't working tonight, so I decided to pick something out on the West Coast so that we get as much sunlight as we can. As for other things that need to see the light of day, we have a lot in the class of mental responsibility, so I will try to go through it as quickly as possible. Starting with KCS, believe it or not, but this was back in May. This one got to us a little bit late, but someone was hit while trying to save their grandchild from the oncoming train. So that's a yikes. We only ever have KCS stuff when somebody dies, and it's when somebody gets hit by the train. They managed to stay on the track. So, this is why I had to expand the breadth of what counts for the mantle, because KCS would never do anything otherwise, but this is really tragic and sad. So, I love it when we start the podcast with downers, because that's what we need right now. Anyway, let's talk about something else. BNSF had a crash on June 10th. Oh, sorry, I lied. Norfolk Southern goes before. And CSX would go before that, but we actually already covered that one on the last episode. So, Norfolk Southern had one on the 7th. Again, this one got to us a little bit late, I think. Train hit a pickup truck in Springfield Township. Well, 2 dead from that. The vehicle was struck by the moving westbound train and pushed into another train, which was stopped eastbound, which that's pretty brutal. And then the truck caught on fire. Debris from the vehicle was strewn along the tracks between 2 trains. Yeah. Took a while to clear up. Unclear whether the victims wore seatbelts, not that it would have mattered. Unclear. Alcohol is not believed to have been a factor. So, yeah. The vehicle went past the gate. Don't do that. You'll get hit by a train. BNSF then had its accident on the 10th. Now, this one is also tragic, but not because humans died. About 60 cattle died when a freight train was partially derailed when it struck a cattle truck carrying 70 cows, 70 steers. So, which had come from Hawaii, weirdly enough. So cows had come from Hawaii and managed to get hit by a train.
Who's raising steers on Hawaii?
I don't know.
I feel like that's the least practical thing you could possibly do with cows.
Yeah, I have no idea. Officials say the steers came from Hawaii. This was in San Joaquin County in California.
Seems like some Lilo and Stitch shit.
Yeah, I don't understand. Maybe they were just trying to escape the island, in which case this is extra tragic. Union Pacific.
They didn't make it.
What?
I said I don't think they
made it.
No, well, 10 to 12 of them did.
Off the island?
70 made it off the island onto the truck. Although I think this was like one of 5 trucks. The truck got hit, and then like 60 of those cows that were in the truck died.
Aw, shame.
Yeah. On the other side, on the flip side though, burgers. And Union Pacific can cook those burgers because of their accident that happened on June 13th. A train with 50 to 60 cars flipped over on their sides, caught fire. Yeah. Multiple train cars of liquid propane gas and alcohol on fire. This was... I'm not sure. Oh, Sweetwater County, Wyoming. It's okay, there was nobody out there. But officials did ask residents to stay out of the area. Fire crews were reporting 100-foot flames. In all caps, the article says, "Do not go out to look at the fire." They know there's nothing better to do in Wyoming. Canadian National then had one on the 16th. This was a, unfortunately, fatal accident at a CN facility. This is another one, in addition to the one we had, I think, last month or the month before, where someone was crushed. Workers performing switching operations. Yeah. They point out that 12 railroaders have died on the job in the past 2.5 years. I'm not sure if that just includes CN or CNNCP. But this is unfortunate. Our heart goes out to the family of the deceased. And the following day, CP had a derailment. It's June 17th, second time in less than a month. CP freight train derailed west of Ignace, Ontario. This was 17 cars carrying coal, derailed, fairly remote location, no waterways in the vicinity. Nothing ridiculous. Train was only traveling 19 miles an hour, so relatively minor despite the amount of coal that was dumped everywhere. Let's see, after the 17, UP had one on the 18th, and then one on the 19th. UP had a derailment in East Idaho, which... Are those reefers? Those are reefers. Most of the cars were empty, though. 31 cars derailed off of an embankment. Fortunately, no one was hurt. And again, most of the cars were empty. But a real mess, as it usually is. The following day, they had one, although we did skip one from NS. NS also had a derailment on June 17th. There was a accident with a semi-truck. Semi-truck hauling trailers became stuck on the tracks, and a train plowed into the truck. 8 cars on the train derailed, and the engineer and conductor were both hospitalized. The driver of the semi-truck was treated at the scene for minor injuries. Most everything remained upright on this double-stack train that crashed, so not too bad. The Union Pacific crash to come back to there was a crash and a fire, including an engine fire, in downtown Phoenix. 4 rail cars were derailed and 1 caught fire. That was not a joke.
Yeah, it was a very interesting thing to see on the news.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
We're having wildfires in the area, and then this pops up, and I'm just like, oh great, 2020 is just playing us like this.
Yeah.
All of Southwest is just going to go up in flames by the end of the year.
Everything's
I'm calling
on
it.
fire. Well, the DNS would like to prevent that, but we'll get to that later. On the 21st, CN crashed a train derailing potash and wood chips. Is that potash or I don't know. I've never known how to pronounce that. 8 cars derailed.
Potash.
It was later conferred with NB Southern Railway and the Brunswick Pipeline, said cleanup would take place Monday because of Father's Day. The scene is safe and secure. I like how they waited to clean it up. There's actually some good, accounts, eyewitness accounts of the derailment, which is always something interesting to read, just the way people describe it. 3 days later, however, CP had another derailment. This was South of Tisdale, off of Highway 35, 9 grain cars derailed. Cleanup efforts continued into June 24th. No injuries, no dangerous goods. On the 25th, CN derailed again. If anybody's keeping track at home, I'm impressed. M302 derailed this morning, Walker, Louisiana, about 7 a.m. Crew was transported to the hospital and one person was evacuated, but no other injuries reported. The train apparently hit a tree. That's a lot of damage for hitting a tree. Jesus Christ, that must have been some tree. There's an engine tipped over and everything. The following day, there was a, let's see, Sinclair Mills, there was another CN derailment, which blocked off some driveways, by the sound of it. But they were able to get around the train. Some people apparently climbed through the train, and then just went and picked up their vehicles the following morning after the derailment had been cleared. So, there's that. Let's see, what else have we got? We have just a couple more, the next one being BNSF on the 29th. Train derailment causes grain spill, road closed near Kimball, South Dakota. And I can't read the article. Oh well. The next one was on the 1st of July, thanks to Union Pacific, which blocked a UP line in Texas. This was caused by high winds. Winds peaking at 80 to 100 miles per hour derailed 86 cars in the span of a half an hour on Tuesday evening, causing significant track damage. Yeah.
86. God.
Yeah. That's like a whole train blown over. Union Pacific had another incident 4 days later. Quote-unquote coal everywhere. Another coal derailment. This one not quite as in the middle of nowhere. In fact, into a river, so that's unfortunate. The cause of derailment is under investigation. Cleanup got underway. Thankfully, no fires or anything like that. Just a real mess of coal. And finally, on the 6th of July, there was a train derailment near West Hibbard on the Gallup subdivision. West Hibbard, Arizona is approximately 68 miles east of Flagstaff. Very small amount of information there because BNSF holds their cards close to the chest, I guess. So those of you who may be wondering, with all this catastrophe and all these derailments from almost every single major railroad, who has the mantle? You know, it's still KCS. Anyway, with that over with, let's talk about what we've been doing the past couple of weeks. I know it's been a month since we've had a podcast. I know everyone is tired, so let's just in brief discuss what is or isn't trying to kill us lately.
We have a new steam engine.
Yeah, you do.
We have a new steam engine that is trying to kill us, we think.
You think?
Rio Grande Southern number 20. Yeah, we think. It hasn't killed us yet, so we can't be sure.
Fair.
Rio Grande Southern number 20 has returned to operation as a complete unit for the first time since, I think, 1952.
Jesus.
Yeah. Its public debut will be August the 1st at the Colorado Railroad Museum. Get your tickets on the website now. Yeah, do that. Come see the engine that hopefully it doesn't kill everyone involved with the project between now and then, and we can actually debut it to the public.
Yeah. Hopefully it also doesn't kill any visitors. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say, hopefully it doesn't kill everyone then.
Rail enthusiasts.
Yeah. Fummers.
Well, let's talk about a steam engine that isn't trying to kill people. I'll start posting these photos.
Is this Hawking Valley 3? Because I think it would if it wanted to.
Cute.
It could, but it hasn't tried to kill anybody, to my knowledge.
To your knowledge.
But
right.
Yeah, to my knowledge. But since we last did a podcast, I mentioned that we were going to have our reopening trains. We finally had them scheduled. And we did, and they were a resounding success. I think we had somewhere around 130, I don't remember, somewhere around 130 people for the 2 regular trains, and then we had a robbery train that evening with like 200 people.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Did say
Yeah.
bang.
We did say bang.
And
Thanks.
then once it's gonna take a minute for all these photos to post, but on the Saturday that I was there were more foamers and more people out chasing and taking pictures and shit than I've ever seen, except for maybe one of our fall foliage trips where we ran Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And the pictures that I'm going to be posting and sharing with everybody, these are from, forget the dude's name, but he has a page on Facebook, Coal and Steel Photography, and he took some beautiful photos, and he was a cool guy to talk to.
That is a really cute picture, number 3. It almost doesn't look incredibly derp.
It's not derp, it's just a Baldwin one-off. Doesn't make it derp.
I think that's up for debate. Also, I'm pretty sure you've described it that way.
Yeah, it's kind of derp.
It's okay, we know you
It's
love it.
I was going to say it's kind of derp, but it's our derp.
Yeah.
Derp gerp.
Like Wobbled with Lucy. It's a murderer, but it's our murderer. Please don't kill me.
It's our little Satan spawn.
But yeah,
Cannot find the door.
Other than
It's not
these
that hard,
trips,
dude. There are like 9 units in the building. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, other than these trips, we've just been kind of running. You know, everybody's been social distancing and as much as possible on the trains, and I haven't seen any problems with people not being responsible about it.
That's good. Is that you in the second picture?
Yeah,
Bummer.
I didn't even know we took the picture. Like I saw that, I kind of geeked out for a minute.
I was like, alright, that looks like a Jader.
Yeah. We found the wild gator in its natural habitat.
Wow, that is a really pretty bridge picture. I need to
Yeah,
come visit sometime.
Like I've seen maybe 2 pictures from that side of the bridge, because everybody just goes to the other side. And then there's like a farm crossing, I don't know, 500 feet or something past the bridge. Everybody just goes there, walks down to the bridge, and sets up there. But nope, there was this guy on the other side, and man, that turned out really good.
Yeah, that is a great shot.
And then the last one's them heading back to the engine house for the night. And then we got 701 ready for the robbery train.
Nice. I did a little bit of foaming Ohio-related things, sort of. I don't have a picture for this on hand, but I swung by Essex because I was out in Connecticut for work, and I happened to notice that they had 3 Ohio Central coaches that had just shown up out of nowhere.
Yeah, give them back.
No, we're not giving
Weird.
them back. We're not giving them back because without them we have 2.5 trains.
2.5.
Yeah, so the train set for a full train on the valley is like 8 cars or something like that. And we have 2 sets of 8 cars and then a set of 4. Or 5. And so those 3, either complete the set or almost complete the set of coaches that we need to have 3 full trains when we're running with, or when they're running with 30, 25, 40, and 97. Which they've murmured a lot about doing more and going further more often, etc., etc., etc. So, they're
Have
currently...
they reclaimed that one guy's driveway yet?
No, nobody's claimed the driveway yet because they've got to get around the big pile of dirt that somebody left on the road. Oh, well, yeah, that is the driveway, sorry. There are 2 spots.
They're getting close.
That's the driveway. And the other one is where it goes right through the guy's property.
Well,
Apparently there have been
it's railroad track. It's not like it's new.
Yeah.
What were you saying, TJ?
I said I think there have been talks of them trying to at least start cleaning up heavily that area. But who knows?
Yeah. They're also doing the rail bikes up that way, which is exciting, and I hopefully we'll be able to do that. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle.
Tranquil
Uh,
Highways.
When folks come out in a couple of weeks. But other than that, I haven't done much. We did a couple of rounds of Merger Mania, which was fun. Kevon's trying to figure out how to get it all to display properly. And yeah, unfortunately because of that I don't really have anything to show off, but it was a fun couple of rounds. We refined the rules a little bit, and Tyler had a bad time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Darn you, Pendy.
all in all, I think we're alright.
Wait, Ellis, have you talked about a certain place that we went yet?
No. So would you like to talk about Rocking the Mountain?
Yeah, well, yeah. We'll talk. We can talk about that together. Yeah. Well, we took a trip up to the WWF up in Maine to shovel gravel for free.
Yeah. As one of the guys said, it almost feels like work, doesn't it?
Yeah. To think that someone would find that enjoyable, but it was actually very fun. We had a great time.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
We even opted to do more.
Yeah, we did 6 carloads of ballast when we were up there, which is apparently a good amount for one of those sessions.
Yeah.
That does sound like a lot. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget where it's 2 foot.
Yeah, they are little cars.
Well, I mean, not when you're shoveling them, they don't feel little, but
No.
Yeah.
when we were shoveling them, I was like, damn, for 2 foot, these things carry a lot of gravel.
I made a joke like, I feel like I'm shoveling it down there and it's just falling into an endless hole. I'm not actually, like, building up anything.
I know. No, the thing that was, like, off-putting to me is, like, I'd be shoveling and shoveling and shoveling, and then I'd be like, whew, man, that was a lot. And I'd look in the pile, like, hasn't moved.
Yep.
And, like, 8 other people are shoveling the same flat car, and the pile just doesn't move for, like, 10 minutes. And then it starts to, like, go, and then it starts to go relatively quick. But
Yep. I had fun when we had to chase them down.
that was fun.
When we broke for lunch. We went to the nearest place we could find to get food, which was a Shaw's up the road, because the Alna General Store is closed on the weekends.
Oh, yeah, by the way, which next time we go up,
Yeah.
I hope we can go up on Friday, because I want to stop at the Alna General Store and get, like, the real Moxie.
Oh, God.
Like, the hardcore. My parents
yeah.
have requested I bring some back. So.
I just want to meet the owner, because he's got another 240.
Yeah, that's true, too.
I was like, I wish you were open on the weekends, but damn, I respect you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went and we saw the end of track, and we saw the bridge.
Yeah,
in
we
place.
went over the bridge, yep.
We saw basically all the buildings that you could possibly get in.
Yeah, they were like, we were like, oh, we're just looking around. And they go, all right, feel free to wander.
Yep. They're like, you can go inside. And I was like, really? All right. And it turns out they can fit number 9 and number 3 in the same stall with a little bit of room to spare. They just crammed them in there. And we were looking around, we saw a whole bunch of stuff, including the one red Phillips and Rangeley coach. The car barn with its work done and its partially paved floor. And then...
oh god, the engine house is so cute.
Yeah, and 4 and 8 just hanging out. I don't have the picture, but I took a picture with the pineapple sitting on 4 and 8. Yeah, let's see what I've got. Yeah, it's kind of off-putting how much space number 7 takes up in the doorway. Like, that's a big little engine.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Wait,
I'll get to
really
my
dumb
comment
question.
later.
Yeah.
How many like engines, like how many little 2-foot engines like that, like the Fornies and shit, actually exist?
Well, right now, aside from those at Edaville, which I don't really know about, there are 5 Fornies. There are 5 main Fornies, and they're all in Sheepskin right now.
Okay.
It's Monson number 3 and 4, Bridgeton and Sacco number 7 and 8, and WWF number 9, aka Sandy River number 6.
Okay. Yeah, that's always kind of confused me. Like, are there just that many of
Yep.
those things?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because they've got 3, 4, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, or 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is 10 is there as well, but it's not originally 2-foot, and it's not originally from Maine. And then 11 is under construction, which we'll talk about later.
Yes.
But everything in there was getting worked on in some capacity. Also, their little switcher that they were using to tow the gravel around, first of all, that switcher in 4 full cars of gravel versus the hill felt daunting. It seemed like it was really working. And it's just so small. It's so, it's tiny even for 2-foot. It's minuscule even next to the open air car. It's tiny.
And that's really saying something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, that's saying something when 2-foot makes you look small.
yeah. Oh yeah, and there's 4 and 8.
How are you that small?
Jada, you need to get up here, man. Everyone needs to get up here. Wybold, we need to fit
Once
you in one of
COVID's
these.
done,
No, you really don't.
Yes, we really do.
Is the task as possible?
No.
I can prove it with science.
No, I don't think so.
You could sit on the tank like you're driving, like you're driving the engine from Train Mountain.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, but for real, I can't wait to get everybody up to the WWF.
Yeah. Wybold is probably interested, but it's a little too small for him, I think.
No, I'm interested. 20 is too small for me. I can't fit in the seat because my ass is too wide to fit in the gap between the boiler and the cab wall, so I run it from the windowsill.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It's actually kind of nice. It's airy.
Yeah, I'm sure it's nice and cool that way.
I mean, you'd be surprised how roomy number 7's cab is. It's just not that tall.
You'd be surprised how quickly and easily I occupy all available space.
Take note, Wybold is thick.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that was our little adventure. TJ, I know you said you want to go back. We're going to be going back towards the end of the month with other folks in tow.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
they're doing a training day.
And potentially a small list.
And your boy might become a member.
I also might do that.
Yes.
Because I want to learn.
I'm going to drive the Model T so bad.
training for what, like train crew and shit?
Yeah, just...
Yeah, like entry-level positions, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to get more people involved. It's like, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Man, that's the thing I've noticed about all this 2-foot stuff. Like, they just seem so, what's the word, so, like, open.
Yeah, they really are. They
bring
just, like,
people in.
it's such like a niche thing, and like it's kind of off the beaten path, like in terms of railroads in New England.
That's true.
Like, they're really happy to have like anybody who comes to them or anybody, and like they're trying to like get as many people in and like and knowledgeable about the stuff as possible.
Yeah.
I'll take this as my perfect segue.
Go ahead.
All right, so as some of you may know, I am a member of the Back Shop.
Big dump.
Oh
make-
boy, oh lord. We can
We make
compare
quality
the other pictures to these pictures.
Yes.
Yeah, I was saying 7 when he put 7 in there. I figured it looked about right,
Yeah.
except for the cab. Oh no, it's in the wrong way. Never mind.
Yeah, well, that's also install 4, not
Yeah.
3. But yeah, so in, cooperation with TJ here,
Yep.
we are making the WWF for trains and potentially railworks.
God.
So in here you can see just the random assorted stuff I've been up to, which includes most of the buildings in Sheepscott currently, all in the center, and oh shoot, I forgot Troutbrook.
Where it is? There's the pineapple.
Yes, there are pineapples.
Oh!
Who lives in a coffin under the ground?
Yeah,
Jesus, Ryan.
it's funny because it all started with me asking for a bridge.
It started with a bridge and then it grew.
Also, the bridge isn't secured down now.
Yeah.
That was one of the things they mentioned. You see those little white nubs that Tyler, you've so dutifully included?
Yes.
Those are for securing the bridge to its supports.
Oh my.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we haven't done that yet.
So I have to update the model?
I don't know how it's going to look when they actually do that, but maybe. I don't know.
Wait, where's
Okay.
the pineapple?
The pineapple-
Looking at the shop interior.
Yeah, if you look at the shot with number 7 in it, it's over on the left. Or, yeah, on
There's
the
one
right
on
in
the
the back.
left and one on the right. Well, there's one.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Where's the one on the left?
So, besides that, we've just got all this stuff which is slowly coming down the pipeline. I'm currently messing around with a software called Substance Painter, which is giving me tremendous power, but also making me redo some stuff.
God,
so
this looks so good.
it's coming. The first that currently what's planned right now is just this building pack will be freeware. It'll be hosted on the back shops. And then after this, there will be a preserved pack of all the equipment. You can already see a little bit of it leaking in 7. And that will take a little bit more time, but that's the major stuff that's been sort of coming along besides the hunt for diagrams. And I'm trying to think if I've really done anything else besides the P&A.
I have pictures of the route as well.
I had a moment of, because I've been watching you build on the center, of course, when you were working on that, and I saw the paint colors when you were done with it, and I was like, I don't remember it being that green. I remembered it being a lot more like pale.
Yeah, I remember you saying, yeah.
And then we got there, and we pulled up to on the center, and I went, I guess it is green.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I was like, yeah. I was like, we went through this on the. Tyler and I went through the same argument.
Yeah, the story about that is actually TJ got me these like little paint chips.
Yeah, I saw
the
that.
the model.
And they were like
yeah.
green. And I'm like I'm comparing it with the photos in Photoshop, and I'm like, no, I'm not using this.
I mean, I looked at the paint, and then I looked what you did, and I was like, I know, like, logically that this is correct. I know that it has to be correct. These are the right colors. It just doesn't look right. And then we got there, and I was like, no, I was wrong. It looks exactly like you said it looks.
This whole thing is it's one big mess that's slowly coming about. Let me see if I've got anything else really. That's the main thing that's coming down the pipeline, really. TJ, if you want to throw photos of route, please.
Yeah, hold on.
When it comes to narrow gauge, 2 foot is for the woods, 3 foot is for the mountains, and 3'6" is for Japan.
What about 30-inch gauge?
That's for sugarcane.
This is true.
I gotta make a sugarcane route now.
No,
Next to sugarcane.
no.
This
I
is
will-
Just builds
this
Great
is-
Western.
These are pictures of the route through varying
I
degrees.
didn't know. They still
To,
make sugar.
They do?
Yeah. I was at home the other day, and my sister was making brownies, and I snapped too because the little GW logo that was on all the locomotives was on the bag of sugar. It's like, oh wow, they still are a thing. Cool.
Huh.
Important supply line for the PepsiCo war.
Oh.
Why will just wait until my termination. You missed the
Yeah.
what happened today. What I spent an hour on instead of working.
Oh dear.
It's great and terrible.
Mhm.
But yeah,
These are just-
I'm showing off some of the a selection of the pictures from TJ's WWF route.
Yeah, they are. There are varying degrees of progress. Like some of the earlier pictures are kind of. Some of them are irrelevant at this point. I've changed a lot on the route. It's like a work in progress because I know as soon as I import like all the structures and sheep's cut and stuff that I'm gonna have to change a lot, and the more that like things start to, or I send the route to people as it's, because it's, so right now the route is pretty much like, I guess like it's fully scenic and textured and everything, but it's not done by any means. And like I want to get feedback from people when they get the route, and like when I see more and more of like the new 2-foot content coming out on the route, because like the old equipment, like it's not terrible. Well, it's almost terrible, but like it's just because it's old. It's not bad for how old it is. But
Diesel engine specs.
yeah.
Yeah.
It I feel like once I get the newer models in there, I'll be able to see like more accurately what things look like and compare with pictures and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be a work in progress, like once other people who have actually been there or who have experience with the route in real life, or just for some reason foam it online like I know I do. If they tell me, hey, this doesn't look right, then I'll like go back and look, stuff like that.
Oh shoot! Another thing I forgot to add is procedural track.
Yeah. He's also
Procedural track.
updating the track.
Yeah.
0 out of 10.
Thank you.
Not 4 cars of gravel.
Hey, no, you can only do 2 at a time.
That's right. Well,
Going down-
when they have brakes. Once
Going
they have
down the
brakes.
mountain, yeah, I'm sure number 9 could have handled 4 cars.
I doubt it, because
Actually,
what they
maybe
want
not,
is they want brakes on more than one thing.
Yeah.
What was that? They had the main narrow gauge car that didn't have brakes at all.
Yeah. One of the
Yeah.
the main narrow gauge car had no brakes.
They were like, we've got our 2 good cars, and then the other
And then
two.
we got this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna get to the point where I can sit on the pile of gravel on the way down.
Yeah. That's fun.
It
looks really fun.
And by the time you get to the point, they won't be, they won't be running gravel in that direction, probably.
Well, they will, but further down.
Yeah. Someday. Soon, TM.
Yeah. Soon, yeah.
They're going to be putting that runaround in at
218.
Yeah, 218. Yeah. I'm thinking they should just call the station Trout Brook,
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
because it's the Trout Brook Preserve. But
Yeah,
anyway,
which is a nice little area. But yeah, anyway, let's move on from the Tuvidisms. There's other things to
I
talk
was just
about.
going to say some other neat stuff, but yeah, we can always come back to that. Can we have a Tyler? Can you leverage Doc for a specifically WWF episode, so we can just talk about that? That'd be cool.
It's already in the
Okay,
plans
good.
a bit.
Yeah, I'll take credit for it then. Anyway, has anyone else done anything else in the past couple of weeks, railroad related, that they want to talk about?
So TLDR, quarantine means I am bad with money.
Oh no, what did you buy? I bought a pro
Oh, yeah.
cab, so I guess we're,
I'm worse. Okay, so I'd say about 2 weeks ago now. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. Troll through. No, it was 3 weeks ago because I was at Hawking Valley for reopening trains. Anyway, I'm trolling through eBay, just seeing what there is, see if there's any good deals. And I found this lot of 3 Proto 2000 GP30s.
Oh, Lord.
And I figured, okay, I'll at least watch it and see what happens. And then I looked at the time when it's going to be ending, and I'm like, crap, I'm going to be on duty when it ends. So before we left with the robbery train, I put on my max bid, came back into town, and I was a owner of 3 new GP30s that I completely didn't need, but it was about $41 each with DTC. They're not perfect, like they're all missing some details and stuff, but I can fix that. It's not a big problem.
Would you say they were $40 a piece?
About 40, it was like 40.8, 41, something like that.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the pencil. One.
Then,
Paint it black, stack the logo everywhere.
see, it's actually got like a greenish
Yeah,
tint to it.
that's
So-
because it's not black. It's Brunswick green.
No, it's because
Yeah.
they paid somebody at the factory to whisper green into every single can of paint.
Black paint, mind you.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
you can
just
see
need
the
to,
actual black locomotive on the right, and then
Yeah. I want a Penn Central thing, like a F unit or something to go with it.
I also see an E unit and some
Yeah,
cars.
that was last week's eBay
Mistake.
eBay eBay escapade. Let's go with that. That's a fun word. Yeah. Okay. So I get home from work, and again, I'm just seeing what there is to see. Found a C&O E unit and 2 passenger cars for what I consider fair prices. So I went ahead and bid on them. One, and now I'm on my way to recreating at least the 60s, so I don't have to do like a 15-car train if I don't want to. The C&O Sportsman that came through Columbus. And further down after, in the middle of TJ's stuff, I found this picture from 1968 of the Sportsman in Columbus, and that's pretty much what I'm going for. The coaches aren't exactly the same, but it's close enough for me.
What is the Sportsman?
The Sportsman was one of C&O's main passenger trains. They inaugurated in, I think, 1930 to go from Newport News to Detroit through Columbus, and then it just kept, and then it got upgraded with streamlining, then downgraded to where by the end it was just this, an E unit and 2, maybe 3 cars, which makes it much easier to model.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could say that again. Look at that. You have a full passenger train, and it's 3 cars, including the engine.
Yeah.
This is like the Sunset Limited at its worst. Except it's actually slightly worse than that. You're missing the automat lunch counter car.
Well, they had, I would need to find it, but I think for a little while they had it was like a vending, sort of like an automat, like the same concept on the Sportsman. I'll see if I can find it after we're done.
Did they ever have a converted tail end car?
Let's not. Let's not.
We're not that.
Let's
cursed.
not.
Did they
We're
have
not
2
that-
of them?
We're not that stupid. Here.
It keeps getting brought up. You haven't been around that much, but it keeps getting brought up.
Good.
And every time I'm like,
Let the Yampa never die.
I hate the fact that I know about the existence of this train.
The Yampa Valley Mail!
That's what we need. We have
a
a thing later where we're going to be talking about a proposal for Denver to Fort Collins commuter rail. We need to bring back the Yampa Valley.
Yeah. We need to
You know
provide
what, I kind
passenger service to all 5 people that live in the Yampa Valley.
Exactly.
I
Stonks.
kind of want to kit bash this thing. Give me a dome
No.
car and I will
No.
kit.
No. We are
Yes.
not giving you anything for that. We will
I'll
not
get it
encourage
myself.
this. Anyway, what are these train screenshots before we move on?
Oh, they're from a couple weeks ago now. I haven't taken any pictures of the new stuff, but I've slowly been making my way towards Nelsonville on my Hocking Valley route. And right now my plan is to get to Nelsonville, get everything around there built, go back, build the town of Chansey and the New York Central line going through it, and build the Plains, which is a town sort of in between the Hocking Valley. Like the Hocking Valley line, like curves around like a big plateau, and then the Plains is up on that plateau.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is I can't find any information. Like it's such a like obscure town. I can hardly find any information on it from like the 40s and 50s.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then the oldest aerial photo I can find of really the entire area is from 1960. So I've been doing a lot of guesswork.
Yikes. Well,
Yeah,
I wish you
but-
the best of luck. It looks real pretty, I'll say that much.
yeah, it's really I'm really happy with how it's turning out. And then Tyler can attest to this. About a week or so ago, I decided to just because why not? There aren't many that good interurban routes. I'm going to include as many interurbans on this route as possible. Like basically everything that was running in and around the area, like after 1930, I'm going to include.
Wow.
It'll be
And
very
then
fun.
even though this is set after in like 1947, 1948, I'm just going to. In this, it's like, what if they lasted through the war, and we're just starting to, peter out by the 50s.
Hmm.
And then this includes the Columbus streetcar lines, if I'm not mistaken.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to include that too, which I'm going to lose my freaking mind putting up all the catenary wires. But
Tell me about it.
You say you're going to lose your mind. I got to make all the cars for it.
yeah, that's true. Work faster, less 2-foot, more streetcars.
No, not less 2 foot.
Don't get out the whip. Not the
The
whip.
2 foot club. Anyway,
I wish I could put some 2-foot on here, but there's no 2-foot in Ohio.
not with that attitude, there isn't. I'm sure there was something that was originally built as 2 foot.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I didn't expect the Billerica and Bedford to be built as 2 foot originally, but that's what gave us SRR number 1 and 2. So you never know.
And
I
then
mean, we had a lot of 3-foot that was standard gauged.
I think the Billerica and
So did
Bedford
we.
was only ever 2 foot.
yeah, it was only ever 2 foot because it lasted 6 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true. It was 2 foot. It was never
That's
anything
what
else.
they took it and put it somewhere else. That somewhere else was the middle of nowhere, Maine, and it grew.
And it grew. And it grew out of control. Anyway, so if that's everything that we have to talk about in our personal lives, it's time for... Yeah, Wildwood is in fact dying. Tyler, if you don't have a
Wait to
preference,
start.
if you haven't come up with a preference, I have an idea.
I do not have a preference, so what is your
Okay.
idea?
Reading 113, the Pacific, won the
Alright.
first season of Loco Royale. We need to beat it with something. We need to beat it with something, preferably another Pacific. So, looking around the room, who thinks they've got the best Pacific?
Yeah, it's fun. I've been waiting for this moment.
Okay, Jader, what are we doing?
My time has come. Let me get the page pulled up.
Okay.
We're
Are
gonna,
you
we're
doing
gonna
what
do
I'm
one of CNO specifics. I'm not sure which one, I will pick one.
Okay, I'll
'Cause we had a
represent the
bunch.
113 because I created this monstrosity.
Let me find something that's comparable.
Tyler, if you want to represent the 113, you can.
You know what? Fine. I was in the finale, so may as well. Well, technically. So
Alright, hold on.
let's pull this up.
Hold on.
Do you
I'll
have
get
a
it for you.
picture of? Okay, I was gonna say I want to find something that's comparable
Yeah.
because we had some.
I can pull up the picture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right now.
Tyler, please
make-
get him a picture while I'm getting the page.
All right. Let's see here. All the random stuff that they have to download for alpha males. Ooh. Like that's one of the things I single-handedly blame for my loss of storage space.
Right. Alright, so, question.
Here we go. Boom.
Yeah, I'll find a Pacific because there were a bunch of them.
Yeah, with the,
Let's see.
while Jader's looking, I'm going to very briefly talk about Season 2 of Loco Royale, which is coming up soon, TM. So, you know what, I should have pinned it. Where'd it go? I accidentally buried it. There it is. Pin message. So, thanks to some creative voting by certain people who will not be named, Season 2 of Loco Royale will consist of 5 episodes with the following criteria. Episode 1 will be 2-foot locomotives with 6 drivers. Episode 2 will be 2-foot tank engines. Episode 3 will be any locomotive from the Southern Railway, including those which were part of the steam program. Episode 4 will be any locomotive with a Wooten firebox. Episode 5 will be locomotives that served in the Great War. And I believe that's limited to engines that were built for the war. So trench locomotives, etc. So, that means 3 of those episodes are 2-foot, which means that going into the finale, 3 of the engines are going to be 2-foot, which means that the 2-footers, despite being smaller than whatever's going to win the Southern and Wooten Royales, actually have an advantage. So, also, the fact that we have a Wooten Royale means that Reading 113 is available to show up in Season 2 again, which is why I think we need to beat it now.
Yeah, please.
Oh. Okay.
I am one who wants this to lose in the Royales. Here, I'm okay with it winning because this is a completely different.
Yeah, this is
I
a
could see
forum.
it.
Like
Okay.
there are locomotive mashups that you can win in the Royale, but you can't win in the.
Yeah. Royale, I mean, Locomotive Versus may find the best locomotive out of the pair. Sometimes.
Yes.
A Loco Royale doesn't necessarily find the best locomotive. It may find the most good locomotive.
To me, it finds the most balance.
Yeah.
Okay. Question though.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the stats for one of mine, and it has like the original like as built
Mhm.
stats, but they were rebuilt with with better valve gear and shit. So
I would say whenever it's one of
Right,
those
just-
stats, just bring it up. It started with this, but it was rebuilt with this.
okay, cool.
Okay.
Let's do this then. Make sure it sends
Alright.
the CNO F-15s.
F-15. This is a
Yeah, F-15s. The 1911
the
ones.
Reading is what, a
Actually, wait.
G1SA?
Yes, it's a G1SA.
G1SA Reading.
Oh, wait. I know. Hold on.
And it's a
Let me
real
get a better
chunky
picture.
That
boy.
Pacific is big.
Yeah.
It's a chunky boy, but it's the first in the line, and I'm like, why?
I run the thing.
I have diagrams of this thing, and I just hate them being on my laptop. I'm like,
You hate them being there. Well, alright, there we go.
ooh.
Okay, I'm looking
a-
at this thing, I'm not impressed. But Jader, impress me.
Alright.
And I think by that, I think what I mean by can you put your Steam Locomotive page in the document?
Oh, yeah. Hang on.
It's a CNO F-15.
Yeah, F-15. That's a pick of the 1906 one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do the 1911 one. They're basically the same thing.
think didn't the F-15... What were the F-15s? Did these things carry
No,
sidewinders?
It's funny how they name their Pacifics are the same like class as fighter jets.
Yeah.
No, that's a
Where does the F... Well, I guess there is an F in Pacific, but it's certainly not the most prominent letter.
I don't know. It's cute though.
I was about to ask where the F is in Pacific. Anyway, Jader, you are tasked with taking this thing down, so you go first.
Okay. All right. No, probably how I die.
Don't do anything stupid.
I'm gonna try my best not to. What's your weight on drivers? Let's start there.
My weight on drivers. Okay, you're playing this very smart today. 173,900 pounds.
I'm smart. 163,000 even.
Nice.
Not-
Alright. The F-15 gets the first point.
Okay.
All right. Then what's your engine weight?
My engine weight is 273,600 pounds.
Holy crap! You're a fat bitch.
Yes.
221,000.
Whoa. Alright. Jader seems to be winning in the weight department.
Yeah, you're a fat bitch. Okay. Tender load weight.
Tender loaded weight, 160,000 pounds even.
131,000 pounds.
Okay. That was kind of close. You both have kind of small tenders, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, total engine and tender weight.
There you go.
433,600 pounds.
352,000 pounds. Holy God.
Alright, Jader. 4-0.
Let's do tender. How much water do you carry?
8,000 gallons.
God damn it.
Oh,
7,000.
7,000 gallons. The Reading boy
Okay,
gets a point. And Tyler,
Alright.
unfortunately, knows this game a little too well.
Yeah, I actually have to do work now. Let's see here. Let's see here.
This is a dangerous locomotive.
Sure. Robert Lee Machina's power
There it is.
computation.
Okay. 8,892.
Did I hear that right? 8,000?
Yeah, 8,892.
Well, I win this very clearly. 20,790.
Oh God.
Yeah, this is a very dangerous locomotive in the hands of a very dangerous man.
Dude, the blood superhero percentage.
10,493.
24,532.
God. Should have picked the F-17s. Damn it. I was thinking about those, but it looked too unfair at that point.
You should have gone for the head, Jader.
Damn it. Okay. Same as above, but wait, yeah.
Wait. So, have you given same as blood superhero percentage yet, or yeah?
Yeah, we did that.
Yep.
Next.
Yeah, for 24,542. So same as blood plus substitute firebox area for grade area.
Oh no. 45,288.
73,207.
And in my head, I'm going, well, at least it wasn't over 100K.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. You and your woot and shit.
Okay, grade area.
Upgrade area? 46.8.
94.5.
Oh,
God.
Firebox area.
202.
282.
F.
ouch.
Let's see here. What can I do that I can ensure victory with?
I just got a Snapchat from Graham.
Oh no. Don't open
Although
it.
it's not working.
Let's see here. Oh. Sure, that's a very complicated step to calculate, but you know what? With all the factors, I think I can win. Tractive effort.
Oh god.
Tractive effort, you said?
Yes.
Okay. 33,224.
Good. 40,906.
Oh,
Oh, good.
Driver diameter.
72.
80.
yeah, look at those things. That was the first thing I
Okay,
noticed.
good
I
thing
went,
I
this is
didn't
going to be
pick-
bad.
Good thing I didn't pick the F-17s. Those were 69-inch wheels.
Nice.
Let's see. Yes, nice. What can I do now? Well, sure, why not? Boiler pressure.
190.
What?
Really?
190.
220.
That's lower than
God.
those both are lower than I expected.
These are shit.
I have a, I don't want to, I'm afraid to ask a question for fear that it will harm the F-15 more.
Okay, well, no. Let's see here. This is, you know what? Sure, I'm already ahead. So high pressure cylinders.
23 by 28.
Oh yes, my gamble paid off. 25 by 28. Now I know what I can ask and still.
Damn it.
Power L1.
16,576.
18,816.
Oh lord.
That's close.
Power MT.
672.58.
703.48. Oh,
So much
formulas
for the
how I.
script flipping. What do you say, Tyler?
Oh, formulas how I love you.
Yeah.
Here.
I need a pro gamer move.
Let's see here. What can I? Okay, so I've done you.
It's 12 to 4. Jader, I'm sorry.
It looks so promising, and then
I don't trust that. So, year built.
you're built
Yes.
19. I might actually win this. 1911.
1916.
That's what I was afraid to
God.
ask. That's what I was afraid to ask.
Number built.
Oh boy.
8.
30.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I remember that.
Ellis, can I double dip?
No. No.
I mean, the rules are the rules.
So, I'm sorry, Jader. Number in class.
Fuck you. 8.
30. Can I call South Point yet or no?
You need one more. Who'd left? Oh, never mind.
There it goes.
Weibel passed out.
Well, my call disconnected.
Oh. Well,
Uh,
have you been witnessing this murder?
I've witnessed the first little bit. I think the last one that I heard was something to do with the firebox area.
Well, it's 15 to 4 now.
Oh, that's well.
Let's see.
Okay,
here.
Tyler,
be
you've got
already-
one more stat before you can take it to style points. Jader.
Alright, this one's a bit of a gamble, but if I'm newer, I might be able to pull this off. Combined heating,
Sorry, what do you say?
combined heating surface.
3,587.
Oh my god, 3,578.
Oh,
Yes.
wow, that's close.
Oh,
Jader. Jader,
That's
you
what
have
I'm
the
fucking-
ball. It's 5 to 15. Can you get 10 points and tie it up?
Probably not.
I don't
Let's
think
try
he
that.
can.
We'll find out. It's really hard. Okay. What's your minimum weight of rail?
98.
91.
All right.
Let's see, we did. Okay. We did all the weight stats, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do driver. Let's do wheelbase stuff. How about driver wheelbase?
13.8 free.
Ooh, 12.67.
Ooh, squeezing it in there.
Small wheels, baby. All right. How about engine wheelbase?
35.58.
32.67.
Ooh, all right. Oops, I
What's
clicked
your-
off the tab.
What's your ratio? What's your ratio of driving wheels to overall engine wheelbase?
0.39.
Sorry, what?
0.39.
God damn it. 0.39.
Oh,
No.
mistakes were made. Well, Tyler, you have a choice.
What's the point standing? It's 8-15. You know what? Yeah, I'll style points.
Okay, before we go to style points, do any of the hosts, including myself, have any questions for these engines? Because
Did we do Loco Base ID?
that's a good one. Yeah, what's the loco base ID?
Oh, true. We didn't. Mine is 7,605.
Oh, I was concerned about this one, but I guess I shouldn't have been. 445.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
I have a question. What's
All
your
right.
factor of adhesion, guys?
Oh God, you
That's-
don't want to hear this.
Mine is bad.
Yours is bad?
4.91.
Oh!
Okay, well I would have won that as well. 4.32.
Although 4.91, good number.
Fair, you know?
Green.
Good point. They were green. Anyway.
They were green.
Anyway, okay, does anybody else have any other questions? Alright, then hit it with the style
Actually,
points.
wait, I have one more. One more.
You don't get one.
Oh,
I want to know what it was, but we're not
it
obligated to do
was.
it.
I was going to do overall wheelbase. Get
Oh.
one more point.
And another one.
Alright, let's talk style.
Oh, look at that. I found an article on the F-15s.
I'm seeing 2 single stage air compressors on Jader's thing. What
yeah,
sort of
I have that as well.
you both have single okay, 2 single stages, alright.
Yeah, I'll just throw a photo of 124 up. That appeases your mind.
Jader seems to have a lot of extra pipes, and I'm not sure what they're for.
There's also got white walls. Those are condensing coils for the air system.
Gotcha.
Both of us have air ringers,
Okay.
and then I have streamlining. I have Crusader Boy.
Yeah.
That was one of these?
113
Yeah.
gets 113 has so many style points when it comes to the stupid Crusader stuff. It just this is how it obliterated people in the Royale.
It's also got double equalized tender trucks for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but they did it.
Is that a point?
Yes.
Alright.
The tender ride's really smooth. Again, for some reason.
I have backup light on the Crusader versions at least.
Jader, do you have a backup light?
I'm pretty sure I have. Like,
Alright.
let me see if I can find a tender shot. Please.
Most engines following, like, the ICC being a thing would have backup lights. Most big engines.
You know what else you guys both have?
What?
Headlights in dumb places.
Oh God, not this debate again. No.
Yeah, well,
Sorry.
it's
So-
true.
Better though.
It's true. Looks bad.
Let's see here.
The C&O thing has train boards. It's kind of cool.
That's
Yeah.
true, it does have that.
Let's see here. What have I gotten from?
I mean, the thing is, Tyler, you're up by 10 points.
Yeah,
You don't even
but-
need to flex all your stupid style points.
Wait.
May as well.
Okay, can you find that picture of the end of the tender where it fits into the observation car? Because Weibold needs to see that.
You know what? East is online. I can just mess.
Oh god. Weibold, the thing with the Crusader train set is it had 2 end cars.
Oh. Yup.
And they had like the extended tender that would envelop the front end.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really cool and weird. I remember seeing a picture of it and going, does it like attach? Yeah, it does, because they didn't turn the train set around, they just turned the engine.
Excuse me. Which is strange because don't you have a baggage car and like?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the.
I don't really understand that one.
Well, alright, do you guys have any other style points while we're waiting for that weirdness?
Let me find.
Oh.
Wait,
Weibold is
actually-
like, no, this is
hold on.
over.
No, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Thank you, CNO Historical Society.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
your son is officially like brain dead at this time of night.
That's okay. He should be in bed anyway.
This is true.
I had such high
Okay.
hopes, Jader.
When were you retired?
What year were you retired, Tyler?
I don't know. Let me go and see if this will tell me.
Jader, when were you retired?
1951.
Hmm.
Pretty early.
Yeah, I was gonna say not great.
Excuse me.
Not great, not terrible. Like in a chest x-ray.
Do you have a survivor?
No, do you?
I have a 1/5 scale model that was built by the
That
Reading.
doesn't
No.
count.
Wait. No,
That doesn't count.
let him finish.
It was built by the employees who built these same exact locomotives to the exact same specifications.
No, it wasn't built to the exact same specifications because if it was, it wouldn't be 1/5 scale.
Second spec scale
Fair.
down.
Yeah.
I would
mean-
give that. I would say that is definitely a surviving CNJ locomotive or a Reading locomotive, not CNJ. But it's not this class.
No, it's what is this? This is a G1, right?
So it'd be a G.2.
Yeah. That's where I was going with that. This is a G.2 SA. So, yeah, no.
Okay.
Well,
Well, wait.
do you guys have anything else?
Hold on. Let me post-
I mean, as much as I
A
want,
ripped and Jader.
yeah, as much as I want to chase down all of the little quirks about these engines, Jader, I don't think you're coming out of this one.
Nah.
Well, just let me fucking try.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have an entire article by your Rarities Historical Society about you?
What?
Is there even a Reading Historical Society?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. I got it.
Where's Chris when you need him?
Oh, there we go. Here we go. I found.
Oh, I know what to do.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
what are you doing?
Thank you.
I'm migrating.
Okay, well, time for the photo spam that we were all waiting for.
Oh no.
There's good.
There's the end.
There's the end of it.
The end.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think which photos is actually useful. There's the models ones. Also, I would say
Booty.
I
Yeah.
could get a. I should. Let's see here.
Yana. Booty.
I mean, you get a style point for the streamlining thing.
Yeah. Well, I already got a point for that, didn't I?
I mean, you get a
that's
point for being streamlined. I think you get one for being above and beyond and melding with your coaches.
Yeah.
The massive drive rails are no longer that. Note the cave formed by the tender's removable canopy that wrapped around the left. Why? See here.
For smoothness and aerodynamics.
Yeah. This.
I am a precision instrument of speed and aerodynamics.
Okay, wait. So, well, no, that might be canceled out. But so you were streamlined for the Crusader. Did you have the train's name painted on the engine anywhere?
I had a nameplate on the front, I believe.
Yes.
Well,
It did say Crusader on the locomotive.
Yeah, it did have Crusader on the front sides. The streamlined locomotives actually had like stainless steel fluting.
I'm gonna be honest, the Crusader looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
damn.
I
was gonna say-
really like the Crusader.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
when
good
these were
line,
used
good color
on the,
scheme.
when these were used on the George Washington, they had the George Washington spelled out on the tender. So that.
That's kind of cool. But yeah. Well, Jader, do you have doors or just big windows up front?
Do I have doors? Let's
You
see.
have room for
There's
doors, I'm just not sure if you have doors.
I need a nice close-up picture. That looks like a door.
I'm on my couch now.
Is that a door?
Well, it's
I can't. It looks like a door. I can't.
It looks
tell.
like a door. I'm
No.
gonna give you a door point. I'm just gonna give you the door point. You're still behind by 10.
Damn.
So the Redding engine also has a better trailing truck.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. I assume you both have power reverse.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you
see on
definitely do.
the first photo.
Yeah, I
If
do.
Jader's thing survived to 51, it would have to have had
But
words.
Laughs in Pensy.
Yeah.
We can't do this. That's much too complicated.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. I think I'm just gonna call it there. Actually, sorry, the C&O, I think, gets one more thing. Because I think it has one of those little smoke lights.
Oh, the ones that
Ooh.
point up so you can
Yeah.
see in the
Use a
dark.
little smoke light.
So, there, the gap narrows again to 10 points.
The rich get richer.
Wait.
This thing is too
Do I have a
powerful.
smoke light?
Just ban it outright.
Yeah.
I can't
No,
ban it. Somebody
I
needs
don't
to
have
stop
smoke
this
light.
thing. Somebody needs to
You
stop
don't
this
have a
madness.
smoke light.
I put it back in the rotation for Locomotive Versus the moment this started going south.
I'll kill it.
I just...
Okay. Next time, I'll find another Ohio Pacific.
Oh, God.
Not these.
578.
Find another Ohio Pacific.
I'll see. I didn't even think of that.
Thus begins the series in which Ohio gets railroaded by the Redding repeatedly on a bi-weekly basis until we have run out of Pacifics.
I'll kill it.
Okay, well, you're welcome to kill it. Honestly, I should have put you against Tyler because Tyler is like the only other person here that knows as much as you do. He's the advisor for Foma Royale, and he has this thing down to a science. If you can't tell, he understands all the power computations. He understands the math. I hate it. He's too powerful.
He doesn't understand the locomotive.
He's OP.
You gotta feel its energy, man.
You gotta be the marble.
You gotta feel her, man.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, but you gotta ask first.
Yeah. You gotta feel
We
her,
had a
man.
woman
We
do
don't do
that.
that here.
We had a kind of hippie woman come into the roundhouse one day, and she just started feeling up 91. I'm
Hot.
feeling her energy. Mark and I were both kind of dogging after her, like, "Hey, she's kind of cute. Hey, she's kind of cute." Starts feeling up the locomotive for its quote energy. Never mind.
Hey, you guys asked for a girl who likes trains. God answered your prayers.
Yeah, but I meant liked trains, not was sexually attracted to trains.
Listen, you weren't specific enough.
Subtle difference there.
Anyway, alright, I'm taking this thing off life support. Let's cast our votes. I'm thoroughly disappointed in the CNO, so I'm going to vote for the Reading thing, even though I hate it.
Reading.
No, Ellis, don't vote for me.
I am voting for you.
I vote CNO.
Why? Thank you, TJ.
TJ with the pity vote.
Why, Jader? Because the score is 21-11.
Yeah, next time I'm challenging you with either 578 or, I don't know. Maybe the F-19s would. Actually, the F-19s would probably do it.
What's the biggest
Just get
Pacific we have?
super chonky.
Yeah.
Prefer, maybe.
Why, well, did the Grand have any
30
three-cylinder Pacifics?
No, they just had their one class Pacifics.
Damn. I was thinking an I-4, and then I remembered that I-4s aren't that great.
Yeah.
These are just so cool looking.
3713, the largest Pacific.
That's true.
That-
That's
See, I
true.
was thinking of using
Write that down.
3713.
Write that down.
We could have done... that's what... I'm going to write that down for next time. I think it's going to lose, though. If there's anything we know about 3713 from past Locomotive versus, it's way too big for its own good.
Oh.
But then
It's
again, the
huge.
rating is
It's immense. It's gargantuan. It is the Mega Pacific.
dense.
You could just do like a couple of versus chains of just Pacifics, find the best one, and then throw it up against 13.
We did something like that. Remember we had the Hudson thing? It eventually ended with the Blue Goose. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Weibel, didn't you have to kill the Blue Goose with something?
No, I thought I used the Blue Goose to kill the Canadian.
Oh,
Because it was
that's
the Royal
right.
Hudson.
That is what happened.
It was the Royal Hudson was trouncing everything, and I used the Goose to kill it.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's a good place to start. So, let's...
Same with the Challengers. Wasn't that a thing for a while?
I think so. I know it was done a couple of times. The Challengers. Anyway, we did mention Canada, so I think I'll just move on to the news and talk about Canada. The
Canada.
I almost called them the Central
Most leaf
Pacific.
syrup.
the other CP, the Canadian Pacific, has completed its acquisition of the Central Maine and Quebec. And so now Canada is taking over Maine again. And I'm not really sure what this is going to affect. It links CP directly to the Atlantic Ocean at Searsport, Maine, and to Port St. John in New Brunswick through connections with the Eastern Maine Railway and the New Brunswick Southern.
Gives them more potatoes for more poutine, which is a good thing.
Yeah, except unfortunately Maine potato shippers don't ship by rail. We know why.
Well,
Curse you.
They will never trust again. But CP now has access to a route that's approximately 200 miles shorter than the competition, getting customer shipments from the East Coast into Montreal and Toronto faster. They plan to invest as much as $90 million over the next 3 years to bring the CMQ's rail infrastructure up to FRA Class 3 standards. I believe this also includes the track that was formerly the Maine Eastern, but because that's a relatively isolated piece of rail, I would be surprised if they did anything significant with it other than trying to sell it. That said, I'm not sure who they would sell it to.
the scrap dealer.
Yeah, sure hope not. But also, this upsets me. The CM&Q had engines painted up in Bangor and Aroostook still. So, rest in peace, that.
Destination banger.
I think they've had like a Bangor and Aroostook F unit kicking around for a while.
Yeah, they have
Like,
something.
Like it was still there, and then I think just recently bought it.
But I don't know who they're going to sell it to because the other railroad in Maine is also selling out. Pan Am, yes, the whole thing is for sale. Who's going to buy it? Anyone's guess at this point. Personally,
So, wait a sec. Pan Am is technically a subsidiary of Pan American Airways, yes, or was?
no, they just bought the logo. They bought the branding.
But they bought the branding, so technically this is not only the railroad, but it is the branding for Pan American.
Yes.
as a whole thing
Yes.
is also for sale.
That is true.
Great.
The branding.
I feel like it's worth more than the railroad somehow.
To be fair, you might be right. So we know they work closely with NS. Will NS buy this? Probably not. It's not that profitable, and NS has been cutting a lot lately.
PSR.
It's a little too big for somebody like G&W to probably want to pick up. And I can't honestly see another Class 1 grabbing it. So I'm...
CN.
Yeah, CN maybe, but I'm not sure CN connects to it.
Was it CN or CP that just bought Maine Eastern?
I mean, CP just bought the CM&Q.
Maybe they'd buy it.
Yeah, perhaps, and they would be connecting to it. It would be a lot for them to stomach in a short time, though. It'd be two pretty major purchases. That said, it makes some sense for them, because they connect with it at one end and at the other end. So, it's a good question. I'm really wondering who's going to get it. Pan Am, the East-West Main Line across Massachusetts, in which it has a 50-50 ownership with Norfolk Southern. Let's say NS doesn't want to do that, doesn't want to buy the own thing. There's a pretty good breakdown on Railway Age about the situation with Pan Am. There's also a really great picture at the top of that article, including a Pan Am lash-up that goes like this. Jeep of some description, FA, or not FA, not like Alco FA, but F unit, A type. Another Jeep, F unit B. Another Jeep.
Wait, what? What?
Look.
Yes.
I need to see this.
Look
It's
in
railway.
the second article under Pan Am sale.
Oh my god.
Also,
That's like a... What?
those F units are really, really blue. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, so, anyway, if anybody's thinking about buying a railroad, Pan Am's for sale. I mean, what's his name, Game of Thrones guy? George R. R. Martin just bought the Santa Fe Southern, so... I don't know, it's...
George Railroad Martin.
Yeah, there it is. In before somebody else that we would never really expect to have such an affinity for trains just buys the Pan Am because they want a really big toy. Like a really, really
Jeffrey
big
Epstein, wait.
No. Musk.
Well, too bad he didn't kill himself.
Musk.
Elon, yes.
Supercalifragilistic. Epstein didn't kill himself.
He's
Anyway,
just gonna build a
I want Elon Musk to buy Pan Am.
for SpaceX, and he's gonna rebrand every single satellite launch from there. Pan Am.
Yes! No, because then SpaceX can just be Pan Am. We can have Pan American spaceports. Yes!
I like this.
The retrofuturism is real.
I'm just naming the podcast Pan American Spaceways now. We can come up with a better name later, but I like where this is going.
There's gotta be a better one in there.
Yeah.
You see, what's a good way to travel around that sadly is not a spaceway is our great friend Amtrak.
Oh, don't get me started.
Now-
Don't get me started. Go ahead with the deal, and then it's my turn again.
Alright.
Uh-oh.
So Amtrak now is offering 2-for-1 tickets on its private sleeper rooms on like whatever services actually have these things still. So, even though we have all stuff with senators being worried, they are doing an offer where, during from July 7th to July 17th, which we still have time, travelers who book a roomette on Amtrak for travel from July 13th to September 30th can bring a friend for free. Now, I'm guessing this is mainly just to do with CDC guidelines, with, social distancing and whatnot, because these roomettes are private.
Probably.
Just camp out in these things and even sleep in them. But
Actually, I'll throw...
The Rona.
before I get on the Amtrak hate train, because I'm getting on it in a second,
Uh-oh.
Usually, Amtrak does these deals with pretty decent regularity.
Monotonous regularity.
And it's usually when they're coming to the end of a fiscal year and they want to drive a lot of revenue. So,
Yeah.
obviously it's not towards the end of the fiscal year, but they are trying to drive a lot of revenue right now because they are in dire straits because nobody's taking the train because of COVID, unsurprisingly.
Mhm.
And of course,
Corona.
what's going to happen now? Nobody's taking the train, so, guess what? We can cut everything!
Uh-oh.
Every single long-distance train, except for the auto train, is on the block to be reduced to 3-day-a-week service.
Because Boomer's gonna boom.
As of October 1st. Call your senators, your congresspeople, your representatives, call your politicians. Don't let this happen. Because we will lose these trains and we will not get them back.
No.
And I have 6 articles here, starting with one on Trains Magazine, about this whole thing, although I think the second one is just reducing service, offering buyout packages to employees, which they've already been doing. But when it gets to the end here, there's a New York Times article entitled, "Critics Fear Amtrak is Using Pandemic to Cut Service That Won't Return." And I say, really?
No.
Really now? They wouldn't do that. Don't let this happen. This is bad. There's a lot of people that are in fact fighting for this. Several senators are voicing, are swinging their weight around, including a senator from Montana, Steve Daines. He wrote, "We are deeply concerned by the downsizing plan. These cuts would not only dramatically reduce the utility of the nation's passenger rail network, but would also ignore the congressional intent to expedite economic recovery following the pandemic." So, another article pointed out what this means. This means that hundreds of stations across the country are losing daily service. It means that you now have to plan to travel on a specific day of the week, and not just whatever one is best for you, which, especially for those who are basically having to take the, instead of traveling either on Saturday or Sunday, or, either on Friday or Saturday, whichever one is most convenient, you're stuck to one of those. On top of all the other cuts they've had to make to the onboard amenities, which I can understand in this current era, this is a kick to the balls of Amtrak and what it ought to be. So,
Yeah.
I feel like Amtrak is kicking itself in the balls.
it's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, this is not a kick to the balls of Amtrak. This is Amtrak kicking itself.
Yes. Well,
You just got the freight roads in the corner, just like, yes, 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 die, die.
This is Amtrak. The episode of Tom and Jerry when Jerry paints himself white, and then there's the radio broadcast that there's a mouse that's escaped from a facility, and he notices, and he tries to
believe it.
He fakes trying to kill himself repeatedly. That's Amtrak.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we're all Tom. All of Congress and all of us.
I'll do it.
Please don't do it. Don't do it. But in the meantime, Amtrak has cut all of its service in Vermont, which
Oof.
I'm sure that'll come back. Thankfully, the service in Pennsylvania is coming back, albeit slowly. There's an article in here about that somewhere. It's down near the bottom. Yeah, there it is. I'll throw this in the cargoes as well. Don't let this happen.
See, my thing, I guess, hypothetically, is if they, reduce service to 3 days a week, do you think, certain states would kind of pick up the torch and, like stuff like the Hoosier state, sort of more independent,
Or like the down
passenger
easter.
trains like that?
I mean,
Do you think those, make not a huge comeback, but, would I guess, be relevant again.
I suppose, but the thing with state-sponsored trains is the states that can afford to sponsor trains already are. You
That's
know?
true.
Yeah, well, isn't the point of Amtrak's that the state doesn't have to sponsor trains?
And so that nobody has to, run
Yep.
them with intent
Yep.
of, making a profit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera,
Yeah.
as we've covered 100 times
Isn't this
before.
just why Amtrak exists, so that we can have trains and we don't have to worry about, I don't know, corrupt organizations wanting to axe all the services for some reason and using a crisis as kind of a scapegoat? I mean, that's ridiculous. Could you imagine something like that?
Oh wait.
Hey, remember how the Sunset Limited used to go to Jacksonville? Pepperidge Farm
Yeah.
remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
You know how...
Amtrak served?
Oh, you know what? Actually, it's funny you bring that up, Jader. Because there is one thing that I did want to cover that has to do with state-sponsored passenger rail. It's in here somewhere. I think I have lost it. We have a crazy amount of news because it's been a while. The long and short of it is that Montana is looking at a second... There it is. Montana is looking at a second cross-state passenger rail line, which would be hopefully funded by the state of Montana, the state of Idaho, and the state of North Dakota. It would break off from the Empire Builder at Fargo, go due west across North Dakota, through Bismarck, into Montana through Billings and Butte and Missoula, and then meet back with the Empire Builder at Sandpoint, Idaho. There are also other proposals which involve bringing it down into Idaho or even terminating it in Salt Lake City. So, hopefully this thing can get off the ground. It's not now is not the time necessarily, but as they say, the best time to plant a tree is, the second best time, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, the second best time is now. These are the kind of things that you have to work on and encourage for years to get anywhere.
I feel like that's a bum saying, because the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Then surely the second best time to plant a tree is 19 years ago.
Okay, that's fair. But if we're going to get that granular about it, this, right now is the infinite best time.
It's as best as it's gonna get.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
I want to, does anyone have, as best as they can get, something to talk about right now?
Yes.
I don't know about asbestos.
Wait, no.
Like, that's illegal.
I've got a lot of bad news, really, but
Great. Well, you know what?
The Slurge is bankrupt,
Yeah.
which we kind of already knew. But
now
it
they're going to
continues.
court.
They're still bankrupt. Yeah, they're still bankrupt. Now it's in court. They're still bankrupt. The Durango and Silverton had a huge washout just south of just north, of Elk Park.
Yeah.
There is a bridge that goes over a creek, and some trees fell in the creek and got stuck under the bridge, plugged the creek until it became sort of a river, and then the river diverted itself around the trees and through the embankment that the track was on. Keyword being was.
Yeah. Now it is track suspended in midair.
Yep.
Like the ending scene from Thomas and the Magic Railroad.
Yeah,
is
pretty
fine.
much. This is fine.
Speaking of Thomas and the Magic Railroad,
Oh, yeah.
actually, because it just made me think of that, we're coming up on the 20th anniversary, huh? There's
We are.
There's a video about that. I didn't actually get to witness it. I know some other people have been looking into Thomas and the Magic Railroadisms. I know, Wild, you saw it. There's some sort of alternate cut out there.
They released a cut on archive.net. Somebody leaked it that was I want to say it was the first rough cut of the complete movie. It has a lot of stuff that was deleted from the vinyl version. In my opinion, it actually makes a lot more sense and works better as a story than the final version.
It's the mythical copy that we've always talked about.
Yeah, it's this thing that the Thomas community has kind of pined after for 20 years now. Like, I wonder if it would have worked better, or, here's this screenshot that shows something really weird. I wonder what this has to do with anything. This is the most complete version of the movie that is currently in existence. And there are some people that were talking about going over and releasing a special 20th anniversary edition that combines that version and the final version and a couple other things and yada yada. Not sure about that. I know when the edit version was leaked onto archive.net, Britt Allcroft was actually very displeased about it.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
So I don't know what happened with that, or I don't even know if it's still on archive.net, but there was some trouble in paradise there, so to speak.
No. Anyway, I'm sorry to steal your thunder, but that segue was too good to miss. Tell us more about tell us more about your trouble in paradise of Durango.
Oh, well, what else is there? They do have a couple good things, actually. They actually got rid of a couple things. They got rid of one of their speeders, which was sort of a Swiss Jeep thing that was converted to a speeder.
Mm-hmm.
They donated it to... There's a picture of it in the article. It's kind of like a little Unimog truck that can run on train tracks.
Oh, that's what that is.
They donated that to San Juan County Search and Rescue so that they can use the railroad to get into the canyon to help people if they need it.
Oh, that's really cool.
So that's kind of neat. That's something you'd see in a kid's TV show. The fire department has the special rescue train.
Does the rescue organization have its own spur? Because if they don't, they need it now.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm sure that can be arranged.
I want to see this thing bust out of, a set of doors and just go tearing down the tracks.
It's called the Halflinger.
The Halflinger. The Halflinging.
Yes, precisely. As well, they also got rid of an RPO, a railway post office car, that they had sitting in the yard for years and years and years and years and years. It's about ready to fall in on itself. This RPO number 119. A friend of mine, Kyle Colley, bought it for... God, Kyle, I hope you know what you're getting into. But Kyle bought the RPO. It's his problem now. He's actually already posted a YouTube video of working on it, which I don't have a link for, but if you look up RPO 119, I'm sure you'll find it. So yeah, that's Kyle's project that will hopefully be restored, because otherwise it was just going to kind of rot into the ground in the Silverton yard. These things are being donated and moved in preparation for the construction of the new diesel facility, for those playing along at home.
Ew.
And also for those playing along at home, you will recall some of the biggest news that has surrounded the Durango and Silverton in recent years had to do with the 416 fire in 2018?
Never heard of it.
I think it was 2018. Yeah, I think it was in 2018. Massive fire that the Forest Service alleges the railroad started. They probably did start it, but that's this whole thing that we're not going to get into right now. There was a lawsuit. There is an ongoing lawsuit between the Forest Service between the Forest Service and the railroad against the railroad, suing them for, I think, $25 million in fire suppression costs or something like that, which, again, isn't that why we have the Forest Service, that we don't have to... Anyway. There's also an ongoing lawsuit that I think we touched on just a few weeks ago with the Purgatory Ski Resort nearby against the Durango and Silverton that's suing for lost revenue.
Yep.
That's a thing. And now we double back to the beginning of this whole coronavirus thing. I think back in March we talked about the Durango and Silverton hauling lumber for revenue service to try and make some extra money and also do fire suppression along their stretch of the track, because, if the government's going to sue you for $25 million concerning fires, maybe you have some vested interest in not setting fires. Maybe also not, because after their project began to cut down all these dead trees and haul them out of the way off of their property, mind you, the Forest Service issued an injunction forcing them to stop and saying that you can't log, you can't move all these trees, you can't do this kind of fire suppression. So this is something that we could kind of discuss. What are people's thoughts on this?
I mean, I think as much as as much as I like nature, this is definitely for good reason. And it seems like the kind of thing where, at least I'm hoping it's the kind of thing where the Forest Service is just sort of doing its due diligence. Like, when you're the Forest Service and people start cutting down trees in the forest, it's kind of your obligation to go, hold on, stop. Let's talk about this. So I really hope that this is a let's discuss and then proceed. You know? I'm hopeful of that. The other thing is the DNS, I mean, how much right of way do they actually own? Because I know sometimes especially with heritage railroads, the ownership of the land on which the track sits is dubious.
It's foggy. The track is owned by the DNS. It's not like the state or anything owns it. However, a lot of the property maps are unclear. A lot of them are sort of ambiguous, and many of them, in fact, have different owners listed for different points. Part of the line is the Durango and Silverton. Part of it is American Heritage Railroads. Part of it is Rail Events, which is... It's the opposite of a subsidiary of American Heritage it is actually a subsidiary of American Heritage Railroads.
Mm-hmm.
And then part of the line, particularly up north, is actually listed as being owned by the Denver Rio Grande Western or the Union Pacific, which is obviously not the case. So I'm not certain. The Durango and Silverton also has express permission from the Forest Service to do any routine maintenance along their right-of-way that is deemed necessary. Mm-hmm. I suppose this wasn't flagged as routine maintenance, even though fire suppression would kind of,
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where maybe
I have to admit, I'm a little bit biased and a little bit irked here at the Forest Service, because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Mm-hmm. The reason that the 416 fire started, regardless of what actually started the fire, was because the Forest Service has, by and large, been neglecting this part of the forest. It's completely overgrown. There's lots of dead trees. I don't think they've had a huge beetle kill problem down there yet, but there are dead trees all over the place, and this is one of the reasons that the fire was so hard to fight. When somebody steps forward to help with that, particularly someone who you are currently mad at for not caring about that in your eyes, I would argue that the DNS has been very diligent with their fire suppression over the past years, but the Forest Service doesn't seem to think that. Wow. Maybe the reaction would be, like you say, hopefully it's whoa, okay, hang on, let's talk about this, and then move on, rather than just, we're issuing an injunction, you can't do this, fold our arms in anger, blah, 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 which is what it sounds like, but at the same time, it's an article from the Durango Herald, which is notoriously anti-train. So it's possible that this really isn't all that bad, and that it is just whoa, hang on, let's talk about this. I don't know.
Yeah, also I can see the Forest Service, because obviously the DNS is allowed to do routine maintenance. Obviously, the Forest Service is pissed to begin with. We know that. So we know that they may not, they may not let things fly or slide that either they should or they could otherwise. Also, they're allowed to do routine maintenance, fire mitigation, whatever. Well, this is, first time certainly in my memory that they've tried to do something like this. So maybe
on this scale, certainly.
Maybe it should have been routine, but I think as far as the term routine goes, this isn't it. Not that I'm trying to...
fair.
Not that I'm trying to,
You're fine. And there are, like I say, there are express permissions given by the Forest Service, particularly involving removal of dead trees and trees encroaching on the right-of-way. I think here, looking at the photo in the Durango Herald article, they might have stepped outside of that footprint a little bit with an eye towards fire suppression rather than just removing things from the right-of-way. Mm-hmm. It says you can remove trees. In the eyes of the Forest Service, that's probably a tree down obstructing the track.
Yeah.
In the eyes of the DNS, especially in the face of this lawsuit, it's like, okay, let's remove all the trees that pose a danger of setting a fire.
Yeah. And that's like trees within 50 feet of the track, which is a ways.
Which, in fairness, you look at photos, that's kind of what it was. This area historically has not been as heavily forested as it currently is because of again, the Forest Service they've been really controlling. They've not done any controlled burns. They've not allowed any wildfires to burn. They've just allowed it to grow very, very dense.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's, how do we deal with that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Yeah, this is kind of a sticky situation that we'll have to see how it goes forward. I mean, 2020 has been chaotic enough. It's been pretty rough to the DNS in specific.
The DNS they have had a lousy few years, starting with the fire. Then everybody forgets right after the fire they had that huge, like, mile-long portion of track wash out on the mudslide,
Yep.
and that had to be relayed. Then SP-18 fragged its engineer side piston, which was that same year, just later on.
Yep.
They've had all these washouts. They had the heat kink. I think that was last year.
Oh,
They have,
thanks.
like, almost $30 million in combined lawsuits against them right now. The public, at least, the print media down there, and the public, as they would have you believe, hates them.
Which...
Just,
I
ugh.
understand why, because
They're-
without the train drilling, it wouldn't exist.
Yeah, but without the
Or-
train,
no.
we also wouldn't have Graham blasting Silverton into the Greebot every 5 seconds. So,
This is true.
Yeah.
You can't win them all.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
I don't know. I hope that they manage to come through this as well, because this is all on top of, mind you, the COVID thing. They're hemorrhaging cash from the virus and have been for a very long time.
Yeah, so is everybody. I think we have a couple of things in here.
So is everybody, but the virus becomes really hard to deal with when, again, $30 million in lawsuits. You
Yeah.
have an entire bridge length of track that's been washed out completely. Now you have more heat from the Forest Service. It's just,
Yeah. Well,
can't get any breaks.
we wish them the best of luck because they're the DNS and we don't want them to go away.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think they will go away. It's just,
I don't think so either.
yikes.
but, yeah. It's going to be a rough little while for them. Hopefully they can bounce back when things get a little more normal.
When they get the McDiesels.
The McDiesels. God.
Speaking of bouncing back,
Yeah.
the quote DNS of the East
Oh no.
is bouncing back.
Is that supposed to be Strasbourg?
Strasbourg?
The EBT.
Oh,
Oh.
there you go. That's more
Uh,
like the cats of the East, but
I guess. I don't know.
potato.
I saw someone saying that if they went up the mountain, they'd be the DNS of the East, so I just went with it as a segue.
Mhm.
But they are working on the EBT. Things are rolling. They started replacing track in the yard at Orbizonia, and on August 13th, they will be doing public passenger train rides to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the first reopening of the EBT, which is cool. And I'm very excited because I have never seen the EBT run ever,
Mm-hmm.
and now all of a sudden it's happening. So
Yeah, I like how it's 60 years since the first reopening.
yeah,
We're reopening again! But anything with the EBT is super exciting right now. I think one of these articles talks about that they got the the line shafts running in the mill,
yeah,
or in the
that's the Facebook one.
yeah.
Well, they got the stationary engine running, didn't they?
yeah,
yeah.
and they were just working in there with getting all the mechanical stuff in there running, and that is so exciting. That's almost more exciting than the actual railroad. Because working mills are the coolest goddamn things.
Mhm.
With all those places to lose an arm.
Speaking of environmentally friendly stuff, there's a interesting development that's coming in. So those Norfolk Southern battery locomotives?
Hey,
Yeah.
I have that article.
What? No. What?
What? Eh. Somebody's been copying and not cutting.
What?
Uh-oh.
Well, do you want to take it, TJ?
No, you got it.
Okay. So, basically, the Norfolk Southern. I find it's really funny because it starts the article off with before the Tesla Model S era of automobiles, Norfolk Southern had a project to develop a zero-emission battery-powered locomotive prototype. Guess which state this thing ended up in?
State of disrepair.
California.
Yes,
California.
correct. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, they decided to bring this thing back for mainly because California just has, very strict emission standards. And the idea is that it's going to serve, I believe, is it?
It says
RPS.
it says they're gonna do testing with it, and then they're gonna test it for a while until they figure out if they can go to. Which I found it interesting that they mentioned both, but regional passenger or road switching.
Which
would be interesting to see a battery-powered locomotive on a passenger.
Yeah.
Especially
I feel
that one.
like Elon's just going to walk down there one of these weekends and just be like,
I'll buy it.
He's going to be like, Tesla needs to expand, I see.
Yes, I'd
Well,
like
it
50 of these.
Well, it kind of sounds like they're just using old Tesla parts.
I'd like 50 of these and also Pan Am.
Yeah, there you go. He just continues. He buys Pan Am and converts them all to battery. It's the world's first battery-powered railroad. There we go.
It's first battery-powered Class 2. There you go. That's what we need.
Yes. That's the future.
Welcome to the future. You know what else is the future?
MBTA electrics?
That is something that may be in our future. Is that something that you took? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, this stupid freaking article has a pun. Electricity, because it's the T. Who knows if this Stadler might be making these.
Yay.
Oh, rendering from Stadler, whose trains, however, are not currently compatible with the T's existing high-level station platforms. Nice.
Yeah, so, unfortunately, the T is in an interesting and unfortunate spot when it comes to its infrastructure, where some of the platforms are high-level, some of them are very much not, some of them are not even platforms at all.
Some of them are a little bit of both.
Yeah, some of them are, some have wires, some do not. On the same line.
Also, it says in a presentation this week, planners highlighted the responses to the currently hypothetical question of the T buying EMUs. One premise of these cars, similar to subway cars or the old B&M Bud cars, would make it so that trains could run with as few as 2 cars.
Proper
Some
EMU.
Companies propose dual diesel/electric locomotives that would let the T take its time converting the lines to electric.
Actually, speaking of subway car operations.
Go ahead, yeah. It's pretty much just saying that they might do it in the future, but who knows? Also, if anybody couldn't figure it out by now, Strasbourg's open.
I clicked on the wrong... I got the wrong link here. I have friggin' 148 in this article. So hold on. I need to go back and find the article that I want. But the point is... So, out in New York City, they are slowly trying to introduce new subway cars, as they almost always are. There's sort of a long, unending rotation of subway cars that happens in New York City. The oldest ones get phased out, new ones get brought in, and unfortunately, usually that means teething troubles. Lots and lots and lots of teething troubles. And just when they thought they could get done with this whole thing, and get the new cars in, and retire the good old R32s, which have been in service now for, I think, going on 50 to 60 years. Nice chair.
We can help you.
You were saying?
Yeah. The R32s are supposed to be replaced by the R179s. But after being delivered in December, after the last one was delivered in December, they pulled all of the R179s out of service. Because some cars' doors were not closing properly.
Yeah, that's a bit of an oversight.
Which is a problem.
It's fine.
I'm getting the day that they brought, or the original build dates of the R32s. The R32s are neat because they have a tiny control cabin and a rail fan window in the front, so you can stand in the front of these cars and look forward. But because of the fact that I have a tiny cabin, and because of the fact that they entered service starting in 1964, the New York City Transit Authority is trying to get them out the door. And so they retired them. And then a month later, they brought them all back. Because they will not die.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh, but they break. They need so much maintenance. But I guess for a little while, we'll be running these, they call them Brightliners, yes really. We'll be running the Brightliners again for the foreseeable future. It just blows my mind that they won't die. Oh, and we were talking about the MBTA. TJ, I have the video of the Grafton and Upton MBTA move. Which was neat on multiple levels, not just because it's the MBTA on the Grafton and Upton, which is a local freight line around here, but it's also the first time that the entire Grafton and Upton has been used since it finished getting rebuilt. So, I don't know, yeah, check the video out, it's really cool. Apparently, also, and I don't want to divulge too much, but I learned that the owner of the Grafton and Upton is the same guy who owns Edaville. So basically, he's a foamer.
Prepare to get your trademark removed.
Yeah.
It's mine.
Grub.
Anyway, Thomas Land. What else have we got?
Well, going on mass...
Speaking of foamers.
Yeah, foamers. No, foamers. Go with the foamers. I know what you're talking about.
A few current photos of the DSP&P Historical Society's work to rebuild a section of the old DSP&P in Como, Colorado. There's 4 pictures there of the work that they've been doing, which looks interesting, and also what they plan to do with the route.
Yeah, it's...
Question.
Yes?
Is killing someone with the locomotive on that list?
I feel like they don't need to put it on the list.
Yeah, I feel like that was assumed.
My beer!
I see.
I think we got that covered.
If you bring 20 there,
Nope.
2 people can die.
No, no.
There's been talk of bringing 346 there, oddly enough, because 346 did run to and out of Como for a time. The caveat for that is, if and when we do bring 346 to Como, nobody at Como is allowed to touch it. Nobody.
Yeah, that makes sense. Including that guy making this weird hand motion at the lunch table in the first picture. Sorry, the second picture. It's about this big.
Yeah, voted no confidence for me.
Anyway.
Yeah, their track looks a little interesting.
It's terrible. It's got to be said. Just is. Well, actually, it doesn't need to be said. It's mean to say, but...
But that's never stopped you before.
Well, I don't want to be just mean for the sake of being mean, but, like, guys...
But, like, don't go there, you'll die.
Yeah. I mean, the track itself probably ain't that bad, but the steam engine is that bad. Don't go near it.
Was it flip compressor?
Everything. Klondike Kate. Number 4. It's a little 262.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's badness.
If you value your life.
Stay away.
Well, all right. How do I get to Como?
Jesus. I remember
Me.
being in engineering school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, do we
Um,
have any good news? Do we have any good news? Things that aren't going to kill people? Like,
Yeah, I have. Well, wait, kinda.
I have socialism.
oh,
I have as well.
science, man.
So, Caboose Hobbies, after pretty much going bankrupt,
Again.
again, has become an employee-owned public benefit corporation. So, the company is owned by the employees,
So,
and that's sort of it. They've changed their tax status, so they're sinking less quickly than they were before. I still don't think they have restocked anything since the day they opened, and that's not an exaggeration.
Nope. That was the most empty and depressing.
And it's only got worse. It has only grown worse. Every time I went to Caboose, I would try to buy something just to like help them keep the lights on. Eventually, I ran out of things to buy. It's like there is nothing here that I am remotely interested in.
That's kind of
Yeah.
how Hobby Shop and Apponaut is becoming.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, I finally found the CP
Yikes.
article I was looking for.
Hey.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here's a statement.
Oh no.
Ever since we purchased the iconic train store in 2016, it has been our promise to be beneficial, blah, 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 blah. Immediately after we closed our store location in mid-March in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, we set the intention of relaunching even greater than before with fresh inventory,
Really?
a new enterprise resource program, or ERP,
What does that
and new
mean?
e-commerce presence, I don't know, and a new e-commerce presence to provide our valued customers with world-class experience that they so clearly deserved.
Yikes.
Right.
Yikes.
Well, I mean, if they're gonna buy new inventory, that is a big step in the right direction.
Yeah.
I mean,
That is a good way to be a train store, is to have trains to sell.
That is
This
an
is fair.
important
That's
thing
good,
that some
that's
people
good.
overlook.
now,
It's an important step.
I'm surprised that. Well, I don't know. Are they going to do anything about their bloated store? It's huge. They don't need a store that big.
That's the thing. The store, the original Caboose was like twice that size.
It's not
And
even
was
that big.
stocked, just packed to the gills. It's not! It just feels that big because there was nothing in it. It's completely empty. I went there on their opening weekend, and it was pretty packed. There was a lot of inventory. I was like, wow, okay, this is really good. It's not the old Caboose, it's not that great. It's on par with a normal hobby shop, if not a little bit above. But hey, this is good. This is great. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say they have not restocked anything since the day they opened. I went there and I couldn't buy cork. Like,
That's just not. That's just not even like a bad.
every dime that they make on selling inventory goes into keeping the lights on and the doors open. They have not purchased inventory ever.
Jeez.
Goodness
I mean,
gracious.
Anyway, speaking of socialism, the Swiss.
The socialist
the Swiss-
wasteland of Switzerland.
Of Switzerland, yes. And also the equally frozen, equally socialist bastion of whatever that is Denmark.
Yes.
Denmark being the home of Lego, Switzerland being the home of the Crocodile Locomotive, which I don't think needs a lot of introduction. I am familiar with these things from my childhood. Is everybody else?
Oh, yeah.
Sort of vaguely?
I know them from Locomotion.
Okay, well that's fine.
I think there was one in trains. I think.
I think so, yeah. There was one that was advertised as DLS for 04 that I wanted to get forever, but never could.
I think that's the one you're talking about.
Probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Denmark. Lego has announced, revealed, and released a new set, number 10277, that is the Crocodile Locomotive. It's going to retail for about $100. It is targeted at adults. It actually says on the box 18 plus. It is designed to work with the new powered-up range of electronics, so it can be easily motorized and then run off of a smartphone via Bluetooth. And yeah, it looks really, really cool. Jader, you're the other Lego guy in here. What are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it?
I personally haven't seen it, but one of my friends got it, and then one of the kids in my train club, and he joined the museum not too long ago. He's big into Lego stuff, and he mentioned the powered up. Like, I never heard of the powered up thing. Like,
I think it's just the replacement for power functions.
Yeah, it's because the last time I dealt with Lego trains is,
Yeah.
when the Maersk thing came out.
Yeah. I think powered up is basically just power functions, but it has an eye of interfacing with computers and Bluetooth stuff more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Legos weren't so damn expensive, I'd Lego trains.
But I mean, $100 isn't bad for this is a really nice engine.
That is true.
You know, compared to a Crocodile model in O scale, which is comparable size. Sure, the detail level's not quite there, but it's Lego, which is cool, and an O scale Crocodile is probably close to $1,000.
That is true. I don't know.
Either way, cool things. Oh, the thing that
I
I'm actually more interested in, based on the announcement for the Crocodile, is that in an interview with the designer, they're talking about how train enthusiasts are a market that have existed for Lego, or that has existed in the Lego realm for years, but they've never really tapped into it that heavily, and that's something they're wanting to change. So maybe more big, cool Lego trains in the future.
Yes.
Maybe with like a scale focus, maybe that'd be kind of
Lego 2-foot.
Yeah, I was about to say Lego
Well,
2-foot when.
And this looks like
I mean,
a step in the right direction for accuracy and detail.
Mhm.
This is not a toy train. This is a Lego model of this locomotive. Or it's meant to be, anyway.
Yeah, it says it's going to be it's a new line of 18 plus Legos.
Yes.
And those aren't exclusively trains. I think
No.
this is the second one in that series.
There's a Mustang.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
18
so
plus,
maybe
you
it's
get
not the second.
a train, a Mustang, fleshlight.
Playboys, yeah.
Alcohol, yeah.
Some hardcore porn. Actually, it's Denmark. You probably wouldn't get hardcore porn, but you'd probably get
Flying dildos. What cut out, I think. I don't know what he was trying to say.
All right. Well,
The world will never know.
talking about 2-foot, we've got two little things on our favorite gauge.
Yes.
So, first thing is there is a report from the Sandstone Estates, which, for those of you not in the know, this is just that one place in South Africa that has all the 2-foot and then also some tanks and planes and stuff. It's a really cool place. If it wasn't in South Africa, I would totally check it out. If I ever go down there, I probably will. Basically, they just did some work on their garrets, so it looks like they're going to have even more things operational.
Oh, yes.
Which, if you look at videos of them going up the mountains, they need that sort of power. And these things, they're just chunk, and they're lovely that way. But yeah, so they've got some of like green and red that they're working on, and even the article that's linked actually has a bit on how to actually drive one of these things. I was like, oh, very interesting. Cool read. And then the Cripple Creek and Victor, our gauge railroad, they actually just reopened on the 22nd of June. So yeah, they're doing their stuff, and they're only allowed to fill their trains up to 50% capacity. But hey,
Oh,
it's
Wybolt's
something
back.
else.
Hi. Sorry to interrupt you, Brown.
Okay, and then just to sort of finish off this little tangent of preserve things that are either reopening or doing stuff. Free along the Verde Canyon Road is celebrating their milestone. I believe they are still open at this time. There's just a nice little line. They're the ones with the F units with the golden eagles painted on the side.
Hmm.
And so, artist building, they've been running for 3 decades now, and so I'm not really sure if they're planning anything super special for it, but it's a nice little thing to commemorate, especially in these trying times.
How about 2 foot in this trying time?
Yes.
Tooft.
And now
Alright.
for you a Jimmy in the trying time.
I just wanted to grab this CP article that I had because it shows where all CP now owns, including the small portion between Brunswick and Rockland. Just to confirm that is in fact part of the purchase, and I remain wondering what's going to happen to it, if anything. On the 2-foot side of things, though, we have updates for WWF number 11, which I can't help but notice neither TJ nor Tyler grabbed, so I took it.
I was going to leave it for TJ, and then he didn't grab it.
Well,
I didn't notice it.
Well, shame on you. They're building number 11. It's a 244. It's kind of chunk, but not nearly as big as 7 or 8. And yeah, they're doing 2-dimensional drawings, 3D images of components, and they just manufactured the first wheels.
That was in 2010.
When they did the wheels? This video?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was originally April 2010, it says.
Okay. So,
But,
we got news, we got 11. Soon to you.
yeah, we got the Speedster.
Now, we were talking about Elon Musk buying Pan Am. He's got competition because NASA's famous rocket train is back, according to this article. The SLS rocket and Orion spacecraft recently arrived at NASA's Kennedy Space Center after a 10-day cross-country journey, which also included the Florida East Coast, from Northrop Grumman's facility in Promontory, Utah. And it arrived on the storied NASA Railroad 10-segment rocket booster and its accompanying spacecraft, and hopefully they will be orbiting the moon in the next few years. Yeah, I mean, rockets, trains, if NASA can do it, so can elongated muskrat.
Yes.
Elongated muskrat Esquire.
Okay, just get this over with quickly. Speaking of Florida-isms, 148's back.
148 is back.
The one Florida East Coast Loco, which is actually operational.
And and don't we love how they treat it? We love 148 here.
Yeah, it's pretty. They did a pretty good job from what it seems, and they did kind of pull a Grand Canyon on us. They did switch it over to vegetable oil.
Yeah, well, you know.
But at least you're still running steam.
Yeah. It's also one of those things where they were like, oh yeah, by the way, 148's done. And everyone sort of went, what? Like, it's done already?
Like, there's a bit of a conflicting message, though. Like, they're saying that, they're going to try to use... the hope is to use the engine to haul passengers in an effort to teach them about agriculture and the history of the industry. And then they put it on a freight.
Well,
so...
motive power is motive power.
I'm not sure whether or not that's going to become a more common occurrence than usual. Albeit now that they did actually convert over to vegetable oil, we can have this discussion about whether or not it's more preferable to use 148 or one of the diesels. I guess 148 now smells better. So, maybe it's the special one. Not the worst crew in the shop gets it.
Yeah. The best crew in the shop gets it. Congratulations, you get to smell nice. Anyway, speaking of steam engines that are being worked on, the T1's boiler grew about 12 feet recently. No, it's not because it told a lie.
Ooh.
It's because they welded the smoke box on. Continental Fabricators is finishing up the front ring so they can bolt the streamlined extension on the front, and then everything from the firebox forward will be done. And they're close on the firebox components as well. So, this is one big tube right now. And,
Dildo.
yeah, flying dildos.
It's progress.
It is progress. I got to preach about the T1 Trust on the WWF.
Yes.
Yeah, he presented a sermon.
I did. I had a
the work
captive
train.
audience. What else do you do?
He did. Even the brakeman who forgot to turn on the brakes.
Yeah, that did happen. I am going to say a couple more little things on the restoration front. One being that the Berkshire Scenic is working very hard on their diesel to run out of North Adams. You know, hopefully they'll be doing more than just running a Bud car up and down the line. Soon, TM. You know, I'm always interested to hear what these little guys are doing, because they have gotten the short end of the stick in recent years, dealing with the Housatonic, and it's nice to see them try to get on their feet again. In other news, the Buffalo Terminal has begun its repairs.
Buffalo, lo, 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 lo.
The Central Terminal,
Yes.
which isn't a terminal, so whatever.
Is it not?
It's not. It was a through station.
Really? Oh.
But the Central Terminal in Buffalo is starting the first of its major repair work, which totals to about $5 million, including redoing the roofs and I mean, most of it is roof work. And $5 million on roofs. I mean, honestly, they're just trying to make the building watertight again. They're either going to be reducing the roofs to their original substrate and then installing either a dark gray roofing material that would be applied directly to the concrete deck for areas that are less important, or a new membrane roof in areas that are going to be reused soon, hopefully. Any original terracotta roof tiles will be removed and stored on site for reuse, which is a nice touch. So, yeah. The ULI recommended converting the building into a regional event center, upgrading and using the space in the main concourse to operate all year. And as for the 18-story office building, what the heck is that? All right. Yeah. As for that, maybe office space. And they're going to be hopefully adding 8,000 square feet of restaurant soon.
That's a lot of restaurant.
Yeah, it's a lot of restaurant. But hey, Buffalo Terminal is getting a new lease on life, finally. We've been talking about it for basically the entire life of this podcast, and I'm glad to see something actually happening finally.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Tyler, you're the only one with news left if you want to round out your... Oh, wait, no, Jader, you have stuff. Jader,
Here.
I'm here.
do your stuff.
Just trying to find a good place to chime in.
Well, now's your time.
Well, okay, I'll kind of jump off. Where the T1 Trust, they're getting work done on their smoke box. The Reading 100 is getting work done on their firebox. So according to this article from Trains Magazine, they got a boost from the Reading and Northern. They're restoring 2102, exact same engine as 2100. And they had to go and cast a new fire door. And some of the 2100 staff went to go see 2102, and they were presented as a gift a new fire door for 2100.
Hey.
Congratulations, 2100. You're one step closer to being back.
That's nice.
Yes, that's the big boost at them, and they can reallocate resources to other projects about the engine.
Mm-hmm.
If Cleveland wasn't so damn far away, I'd go help them, but Cleveland's far away.
I would shout
Go
you
see
too.
Eric.
So maybe.
Go see Eric, go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, go tour that big bulk carrier that's there.
No, don't go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Do go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No.
Yes. Why not? Why don't you like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Inductees.
Meh.
I will table that for another time.
Fight me. It's a great place. But yeah.
Let's see, and then I got two more pieces of news. The TVRM, Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum, one of my personal favorites that isn't in Ohio. They have reopened after being shut down for COVID. They reopened on, what was the date? Right. On June 7th with 4501, and now they're running, I believe, on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Maybe just Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And they seem to be doing well. And I hope any tour that opens during this whole thing can do well. I mean, I just think if people just are fucking responsible about it, you know, it sucked, but we'll get through it.
Yeah.
I hope their masks is the fucking kick in the pants that we need to get through this shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's good to see these places being able to slowly open up again.
Yeah.
Anyway.
My last piece of news, surprisingly, wasn't explosive.
Oh my god. Right? Right?
Yeah. They steamed up 1309 and they blew the whistle.
It's
1309.
Unbelievable. 1309.
Yeah,
Didn't it also move under its own power?
No,
No?
No.
I thought they were teasing that.
valve gear isn't fully connected up yet, so they couldn't do anything if they wanted to.
Well, they did something. At least,
Yeah,
I mean...
It's kind of long. Like, it's like, with how much of a meme it's been.
Well,
Like,
speaking about it being a meme, during that, if any of you watch the video, the first time they go to blow the whistle at 1309, which is military time for 109,
Yep.
the whistle cord breaks.
Yep.
So they have to have a guy go run up there, cover his ears, and then pull down on the... Like, come on, guys. You should check this beforehand.
You didn't practice?
Exactly.
It's just...
Like, it's just,
They can't catch
Yes.
any breaks at all.
yeah. Well, speaking of not really catching breaks, high-speed rail.
Oh.
So Representative Moulton, Democrat from, I guess, Massachusetts,
Massachusetts.
said Thursday he's planning to invest more than $1 trillion over the next 5 years to build a high-speed rail network. This is the part we brought up about because COVID,
Yeah.
and I'm hearing some murmurs about this, and partially I think it's because Amtrak, a lot of people are noticing this stuff now that we're all kind of stuck in doors, doing nothing, and then maybe traveling a bit by air. I guess some people just view it as a good option now in this time, but
Yeah.
$1 trillion. I've heard this sum before, and I think I'll keep on hearing some again for high-speed rail.
Until it gets bigger.
Yeah, it'll be nice if this actually goes through, but my hopes are not fully tied for it.
So where is the Massachusetts man's money gonna go? Massachusetts already has high-speed rail to an extent.
Well, isn't this guy a senator?
Yeah, at the center.
So he's just from Massachusetts. He's proposing this for, nationally.
Oh, okay.
And then, so this is more money potentially to Amtrak, which might not get used for high-speed rail things besides Valia, but, hey, at least there's the thought. On the digital side of things, to really wrap this all up, we have 2 new releases for trains. Both of these are from devs I've talked with in the past. We've got Green Coast Studios with the Western Maryland number 6, which that's actually a pretty nice model. That's only for 19 right now, but he's constantly backporting that stuff to Tane. And then we've got also another one that's going to be shortly backported back to Tane, the Southern Pacific Mikados, the MK709s. These things are very hot. And because he's using Substance Painter for this one. And 2021, it's turning into, for train sports, the year of Southern Pacific. So this is just a little taste of what's coming up on the line. Both of these, however, we've with Kevon's experimentation, we both found that the engine specs on these things are a bit weird. It's pretty funny what you can do with these things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say that. And then in the world of stuff that we don't always touch, No-Tail announced new sim. They're counting Train Sim World 2. So you actually get to use that VR headset you bought and only use for 2 games. A bit more, I guess. It's basically just Train Sim World with a few new features, a new route or two. No Steam still, no route builder. They're saying there will not be a route builder. They're also saying that third-party devs like me, we have to contact them and do all this, run for all the hoops and loops and stuff to make stuff. So don't expect much content for this. It looks really nice, but after the looks and some of the functionality and stuff, it's just, I don't see it going farther.
Yeah. Train Sim World is cool, but, like, it's not enough of anything.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna get it, I'm only getting it for the Bakerloo line at this point. Cause that will be cool, as you can just watch Jeff Marshall and then just go immediately, watch him his Bakerloo line videos and then just go to that station and be like,
Oh, yes.
this little...
The station here is made out of station.
Yes. It would seem to be.
Anyway. Well, as the light is fading in Bakersfield, Barstow, the other...
And in all of our heads.
And in all of our heads. I mean, I think we did alright. Jader, you're still awake.
Yeah, I'm still awake.
In spite of it being 11:22 over there.
Yeah, I'm still awake. I was tired all day, but I'm still awake.
Sleep is not an option.
Sleep may be an option for you, but not for me. Anyway, you're gonna get back to work when this is over.
Yes.
I noticed that your termination echoes that, but you don't go first. I think it's time to wrap up unless we've got something else to talk about. Oh wait, one more thing.
Uh-oh.
What's the latest train on Amtrak, guys?
Right.
Oh,
Oh, that's late. Oh, that's even later.
Do we have a list of what's running currently?
Almost all the long distance trains are out.
Okay.
Wait, out like we can't use them?
like they're out on the line right now.
I'm
Okay.
gonna say northbound auto train.
Northbound auto train. Ooh, the auto train is a pick. I like the auto train.
Southbound auto train.
Southbound auto train. All right, both auto trains.
I'm gonna do the southbound City of New Orleans.
The southbound City of New Orleans. That's an interesting choice. Not one that comes up very often. Tyler?
You see, because the Zephyr's been having a very interesting reputation, I'll do number 5, Zephyr.
Number 5 is alive. All right. The auto trains, number 53 and 52. They are, you won't believe it, 18 and 32 minutes early, respectively.
You're right, I don't believe it.
The other thing with the auto train is, because they only clock the time at stations, it's tough to end up with an auto train that shows up as outrageously late. Unless something really cataclysmic happens to it. The City of New Orleans... TJ, did you want the southbound?
What?
Oh no, who said City of New Orleans?
Jader.
Oh, sorry, Jader. Did you want the southbound or the northbound?
I said northbound.
Okay, the northbound is 27 minutes late.
Damn.
Hey, Tyler.
Yes.
California Zephyr number 5 to Emeryville is 9 hours and 15 minutes late
Holy
at Granby.
fuck.
Amtrak, I know.
But it is not
Granby?
It is not the latest train on Amtrak.
Oh, why are we stuck at Granby?
The Southwest Chief, the eastbound Southwest Chief,
The chief is running right now?
is 11 hours and 51 minutes late at La Plata, Missouri.
Oh my
Actually,
god.
if we went to the La Plata webcam, we could probably see it go by, or we could have seen it. The Sunset Limited to New Orleans is also 4 hours and 10 minutes late. Those are the latest trains. The Southwest Chief is, of course, the latest. There are 3 other trains that are running a little ways behind, number 6, number 3, and number 1, which are, respectively, the Zephyr, the Chief, and the Sunset Limited, going the opposite directions of what we have talked about so far.
Oh no, they're corny.
And the Canadian is not in the system right now, so we can't even compare it to that. If you are listening to this from the Southwest Chief, I'm sorry. That's real bad.
Apologies.
The
By
South,
the time this airs, who knows? You might still not be at your destination.
for the record, between Flagstaff and Winslow, Arizona, the Southwest Chief picked up 11 hours of delay and has been fighting it ever since.
Oh,
Oh, of course it has to be that.
That stretch, they picked up 11 hours in a stretch. How long?
I don't know. Not long.
It's like
Can you imagine?
Also,
mm,
the
50 years?
between Fort Morgan and Denver, the very late Zephyr picked up 8 hours of delay.
Oh my god.
it
That's
must have been like a derailment or something.
only like 60 miles or so.
Honestly, if I had to hazard
That's
a guess,
not that long of a distance.
if I had to hazard a guess, because I don't think it's traffic doing it that badly at this point in time, if I had to hazard a guess, it was probably an engine failure in both cases. Because that's about that amount of time.
yeah,
I
that
would
was what
expect.
killed the Zephyr a few days back.
Mhm. This is why... Oh, I even had an article about Amtrak trying to get its hands on the new long-distance engines. They're more important than ever. As much as people rag on the Chargers. Anyway, let's
Importante.
do our terminations. Weibold?
Don't you believe it?
Yeah. I'm so glad you went and found that for this. Tyler?
Alright, 2 foot, it's what the people want to get through 2020. Ellis, don't get out the club, please.
Don't make me have to. I would like to share the thing that I think is currently still sitting at the top post of the alternate history subreddit.
Oh, yes.
This is
Oh, geez,
something
yes.
that I... Okay, so many of you may know the story of the Soviet, or the Pepsi Soviet Navy, where PepsiCo traded the Soviet Union for a bunch of ships, including a heavy cruiser, a destroyer, a frigate, and 17 diesel subs, among a couple, and some other freighters. I decided that I would just sort of brainstorm with this a little bit, and then I found, you know, the Wikipedia battle things, like where it'll list the belligerents and strengths, etc. There's a thing online where you can create one of those really easily. And I went,
Oh dear.
oh, well, this is I'm doing this now. I'm locked in. So I came up with the fictitious Battle of Tybee Island, the first...
Engine.
What
It runs.
What the
It
heck?
runs like a real engine.
No, don't spoil it.
Easy.
the heck?
Hey.
The first battle of the Soda War, or the part of the first Soda War, where PepsiCo and their navy tried to blockade the budding Coca-Cola Company navy, and a heated battle ensued off the coast of Georgia.
The top comments. This is the best thing I've ever seen on this sub. Response. That's a low bar, to be fair. I agree, though. This is amazing.
So
And then you took it one step further.
I intend to do a full write-up of the battle, and then make more battles. Also, this is canon in the Iron Horseman universe.
Yes.
TJ,
Oh, dear.
That was
Just the video.
I run the thing. Okay. And Jader?
well, seeing that the F-15s kind of suck.
Oof.
I will throw C&O Pacifics at Routing 113 until it dies.
Next time, try an F-22.
Yeah.
Hey,
We don't
you'll
have
get your lettering soon enough.
We
Jader,
have
somehow I'm
F-19s.
not sure that will happen, but you know what? You keep going, man.
I will. I mean, the F-17s and F-19s. Probably the F-9. Actually, the F-19s would probably do it. They're huge.
Alright, we'll see.
Huge. China.
I'm looking forward to it, Jader. Come
You know,
China.
Jader, if you win this,
Let's make that for next time.
Yeah.
I will make a small little icon of 113 like getting shot down, and you can plop it onto.
Yes.
Do it.
Alright. Thank you guys for joining me for this episode. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you again hopefully in 2 weeks. I'm going to try to do a better job of scheduling these things so I'm not just jumping Wybold when he logs on to get some rest after work and saying, no, we're doing the podcast. But at least he got to eat.
This is true.
Anyway.
I had my hot wings.
Oh, okay. Man, that could have been a disaster.
Well, you know.
We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye!
Bye.